The train headed for Sunset City will be departing soon.
All right,
Except for Trey.
shut up,
Because
everybody.
this was his idea.
Shut up.
Sorry.
We're starting the show. Can you believe it? Right.
Did you put yourself? We're in the clouds. Where?
We're all in the clouds.
Oh,
We're in
that's
the-
precious.
Wait, what?
Did we
Hold
start?
on. I don't have it. I don't have it open.
We've started. They can hear us now.
Oh
can hear
god,
us?
Trey, I forgot about that avatar.
Oh. Wait, hold on.
With his
can't see
knockoff Nick shirt.
Oh wow, I really could have done a better job about your hair around the ears there.
Welcome, everybody, to Sunset City, a Sonic podcast for people who like Sonic and people who don't. With me today is Troy Noibles.
Hey everyone, how you doing?
To the
It's
left
great
of
to be
him
here.
is Game Foibles. And on the far right is Soristus Foibles.
I'm a people who don't.
And Winus Foibles.
Oh my god. Oh,
I'm so close.
good?
I'm going-
so close to quitting.
That's
Oh
what
my
she
God.
said. And me, Pup, who forgot to fix the stuttery backdrop. So,
Oh no.
today's a very special day.
Yeah.
We've got a very special guest and another very special empty space for now, but hopefully that'll change. Today we are celebrating MUME's 70k subscriber special. And if you have a front row seat in the Night Babylon stage, where our lovely audience is... Hey everybody, I've already said hi. You guys got a little early initial preamble, but you know, again,
Yeah.
hi.
That'll be $5, actually.
Yeah.
From every single one of you.
Yeah, like, that's the thing, is Nick and Cirrus, before we started, were telling me, I need to learn to accept money. So give me money.
Yeah, it's weird. Like he is the biggest mooch of the super chats, and he's like, "No, I don't want your money."
That is
Get out
well,
of here. Nick
well, I
Jr.
think it's
Oh,
different.
we're calling you Nick Jr.
I don't need your money. I have enough money.
I feel like it's different because Pup is perfectly fine taking money from strangers, but isn't fine taking it from
Take it from people who care about his fucking well-being.
Yeah, I can't.
Yes,
Or
because
actually willing.
I respect my friends, whereas the rest of you can all go fuck yourselves.
Pup would be
Oh.
one to like rob a bank, and then like the next day be like, I can't accept these $10 from you.
Yeah, I kind of know you guys now. I need to
Yeah.
give
Yeah,
that back.
Yeah.
he'd rob the bank and then immediately go, "Okay, guys, who of my friends needs money? I've got some extra. Here you go."
I'd rob the bank, and then someone on the way out would be like, hey, how you doing? I'd be like, oh, okay, you can have your money back in that case.
So if you guys were not aware, I don't know if we've clarified this or not, but we're actually recording in a different space than usual. Not technically. I think we're all in our real physical space in the same spot, but we're
Nope,
actually...
it's a brand new studio. We just
mean,
built it.
I mean, there was the
Yeah.
beach since last week, and these
This
stale
house is-
chicken wings.
This
But
house
we're
is still pretty
actually-
new to me, so
Oh my
But we
god.
let Nick finish.
Let me... God, for God's sakes. No, we're in
you'll
Emmy's
finish what I say, you
Discord... Shut up! We're in Emmy's server.
Oh, hell yeah, Wayne is being dominant.
We are in Emmy's Discord.
I'm going to be
server
spanking both
live.
of you boys after this show, is what's going to be happening.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
I watch. Dude, I listened to a lot of Panic on my way down on my road trip. I love Panic.
It's funny, you don't strike
Oh,
me as
Panic
a
is
panic
great.
kind of guy. Like, given that you're not, you know, a preteen girl.
Yeah, I mean that joke would work if it was 2005, but it's not. It's just-
Yeah,
it's just
Listen,
good.
man, I live my life like it's 2005. Okay, I
It's
got
like
us.
15
I mean,
years
look
later.
at the Sonic fan base.
No, but look,
Oh,
like we've got a
dude.
dude with a guitar in front of glistening water. It's every 2003 music video.
No.
Oh
We're
my
actually
God,
all
you're
like
right.
every 2000s music video was inside a cheese grater.
Oh, that's if you were
and-
into rap, but if you're into rock, man, it was always a pool or something.
Nah, there's some alternative rock bands that did that shit. Like everyone did that, like inside a metal casing with holes in it. It's like cheese grater. I'll
Right,
send
well,
an example.
in that case,
We gotta stop him before he talks about music.
I'm gonna
Oh,
go
what-
on Google Images, look for cheese graters, and see if I can put us in one.
Why did Nick act like me talking about music was like a bomb about to go off? Like,
Yeah,
oh,
what is the
fuck.
title of this episode, Nick?
Yeah, rave's not music, obviously.
And
Oh wow!
Oh, I didn't know we had a Boomer in the chat. Like, oh,
No, we
Yeah,
got, we
He's
got
not
did.
a boomer.
Yeah,
he's
you
a
did.
he's a connoisseur.
I'm the
We've
one that
got-
made the term Sonic Boomer.
We've
Shut
got
your
the
mouth,
whole-
Trey.
That's true.
the whole
That's a great
shebang
term.
here. We got Gaslight, me, Nick Gatekeep, Cirrus Girlboss.
Bro, it's bro.
And with our
Bro.
powers combined, we can talk about a blue hedgehog sometimes.
Hell yeah. Okay, so
Welcome
first
to the Gate Apologists.
first item we've got in the piss. Trey, do you need a copy of the piss, by the way?
Whoa, what?
That's the name of our.
That's our workflow document.
That's our schedule. It says the piss 2, but we're actually on piss 3 now.
You're probably completely off guard.
So Emmy's people, we're a Sonic podcast.
For the modern and classic age.
We usually sometimes are.
Sometimes we're for Klonoa fans.
That's true.
I think we
Been
might
playing a lot of
actually
that.
talk about that next week, but we're gonna just celebrate the crap out of Emmy's accomplishments and talk some Sonic news today.
Behind her back.
Behind her back.
I
Congratulations, Emmy.
Jesus Christ.
Why don't you make a news show for your cool new subscribers? No, okay,
She'll be
so
here. Hopefully, I'm praying. I'm praying that she is. But yeah, no, it's just fun. It'll be a good time.
No,
It's been a
it's-
while since I've actually been on this show personally myself, so it's always good talking to you guys.
I love you, Trey.
Yeah, whatever.
I love you too, Pub. Nick, don't whatever me. Is this a
Yeah, don't
Buc-ee's?
whatever
'Cause
my husband. What
being
the hell do
gaslit
you
right
think
now.
you're doing? Not
This
by
is
me for a
exactly
change.
our relationship, and he
Yeah.
loves it.
So,
I do. I love it very much.
first item
You know-
on the piss is new Sonic 2 action figures from Jack's Pacific. All right, you
And
see them there. They're
More
on screen.
importantly,
I did see them. Like,
they
on
actually
Twitter.
fixed Supersonic's eyes too.
What do you mean fixed? Are you a fake fan of Sonic 3?
No, I'm not. I love the Green Eye figure.
They're
I absolutely
supposed to be
adore it.
green. Why is he so bendy though?
Why am I the one defending the Red Eyes? This is weird.
Why were you the one?
Dude, you're the one
defending,
defending Shadow against
yeah.
Metal Sonic, and not
right?
you're one defending Red Eyes versus Green Eyes.
You
Damn,
modern
you
fanboy. You modern moron.
modern fanboy. Like, oh, shit.
As I'm known to be. No, but
Yep,
like
as-
they had Green Eyes for that play set, and a lot of fans had problems with it. And when they first showed off this figure, I don't know if it was a leak or if it was an official. This might be our first official showing, but it was also green eyed as well.
I don't know if it's a leak or if it's a fish. Fish.
What? We get it.
You don't understand why
still-
these things make me laugh. I don't
This
understand.
is really stupid, but I think I might still pick these up. I know they haven't added much to the figures themselves, but I really like the little lightning add-ons and then the little accessories.
Yeah, Sonic's
Nick-
got his
Oh,
little
yeah,
map
let-
and his
let's
little...
let's be truly honest, Nick. I saw you running around the convention like a kid in a candy shop. You don't need to make an excuse for why you're going to buy random shit you're collecting. I've seen you run around collecting random shit from bins.
It's not that random, probably.
You are
Are
a
you sure
hillbilly,
that-
Nick.
Are you sure that the Thomas the Tank Engine fucking Voltron
Dude.
thing was?
I've been looking for that for years, man. Are you kidding me?
Hang on a minute.
That
You can
thing's
get them at the
amazing.
bargain store up the road from me. You should have just asked.
You have those. You have the bootleg Thomases.
We've got a shop called Home Bargains, and they've got those Thomas the Tank Engine Transformer things there.
How much are they?
Like 99p.
Oh my
Yep.
god. Oh no.
You sound like that thing from Mario where he's like, oh my god!
I spent $45.
You did.
Hey, if it cheers you up, what I'm talking about might not be what you're talking about because I don't know what you're talking about.
Watch, you're going to take a picture of it, you're going to send it to Nick, and it's going to be the exact same thing, and you're going to dig an existential hole of dread for
No,
this
but
man.
as it is, it's like a 30-minute
Well-
bus ride away from me. I don't want to go that way.
Well, I'd say just resell it and have Pup buy the.
Or maybe check that what you're talking about is what I'm talking about first.
How am I
Right,
supposed to
right,
check?
What is he going to do? Teleport to the UK?
No, you take a picture of the item you purchased. I'll go see if they have it before you
You said
sell
you
it.
wouldn't do that. You
Oh,
just said
he's still in his box. I'm still like the idea was to reorganize the game room when I got home, but what instead happened was I had severe back pain and then
Okay, look.
headaches and all
Sonic
kinds of-
2 toys,
problems.
okay? We got ourselves a
Sonic 2
Supersonic.
toys.
We got ourselves Sonic with lightning up his legs and fun accessories. A Master Emerald that comes with Super Sonic. Like, we all cool with that? We all happy? Happy to move on?
Oh yeah,
it's fine.
it's better.
Oh, have you guys seen the latest stuff that's been popping out? I forgot that Target was already producing these. The latest wave's out. I have not seen Espio yet, but I got my Egg Robo, and it is fantastic.
Oh, the Jack Specific wave.
Yeah. Ooh.
Ooh, that's cool.
Are they not all Jack
Okay.
specific these days?
They're all, yeah.
Yeah.
Serious. Anyways, okay, so next item on the piss. Sonic Frontiers story details. Ooh. Okay, so Game Informer. Their journalist Brian Shee has written up a little something about what we can expect from the story of Sonic Frontiers. It's got interviews with Iizuka, Ian Flynn, and it all looks like a step in the right direction. I don't know, have you guys read it?
I
read
have. Yeah,
I've skimmed it. Yeah.
it. I have some concerns.
Mhm.
Okay.
So as I've read it, the things that Ian has said in the article are along the lines of like, if you listen to Sonic say certain things as he's running around the world, you'll hear certain name drops that I think you'll find are very interesting. Like he does a lot of like saying that as opposed to there being characters other, like we might have characters other than Sonic, Tails, Amy, and Big and Eggman in here, but those are the ones that have been named so far. It sounds like there's going to be lip service to big moments in the Sonic franchise, but I don't think they're going to have any weight on the story itself. It's just more like they're going to acknowledge that things like the Space Colony arc happened at the very least.
So you reckon
Right.
it's
And,
gonna be
like-
like, hey Tails, remember that time we went on the Death Egg? Freaking
Yeah,
sick.
it's going to be. It's. I think I don't think it's going to be quite that bad because it is Ian helping with the writing, and Ian is able to be a little. He's able to do more than just like name drop. But
Absolutely.
my worry, the way that it's worded in the article, it sounds like it's just going to be like lip service name drops.
At the same time,
Yeah,
that
that's all it
sounds
should be.
okay to me because when Sonic Generations came out, obviously we had the returning levels, and I was disappointed in Sonic Generations that they didn't actually seem to acknowledge those
Say
environments.
anything about the places they were at.
Literally,
Yeah, we're just
Yeah.
like, oh, I
Chemical
just
plant bit.
left that place. I wonder what that was.
I mean, I guess
Like-
like the chaos fight in Generations maybe would have been like, I loved it, but I would have also loved some commentary from Sonic noting that like he's done this in Supersonic mode before. How the hell is he going to do this now?
yeah, but it's just like, all right, you know, like,
He just does
Yeah.
it. So I guess that's the other side of the coin there. Like, yes, I am concerned that this is just going to be bits of lip service to some of the history of the series, but at the same time, you're right. There are moments where those bits of lip service are literally the thing that's missing.
I mean, that's another thing as well, is like a comment that I think has been kind of a common thread is this almost feels like a Sonic Generations redo with the cyberspace stages. And like, given that they're kind of revisiting those levels, it's almost kind of like, yeah, okay, we released Sonic Generations, a game that had a lot of story potential, and we capitalized on fuck all. So we're going to try
Right.
again, this time with a writer that actually gives a shit.
Fair.
Yeah, this is exactly what I like. I've predicted this very specific thing when we were talking about the story, and weirdly, as concerned as I am with everything else with this game, this is like the one thing I'm feeling more and more relieved about the more I hear about it, because it sounds like he's much more involved with the writing
Mhm.
than not.
Than we
it sounds
thought,
like-
yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like they're going back and forth on how to handle it, and they're not localizing it from Japanese. It's the other way around, which I'm happy
That's
with.
interesting.
I like the more
Yeah.
Western focus here, and he's doing what he's always done with the character. I just got done recording this big, huge thing about issue 50 up from our patrons, but like, I do feel like, if nothing else, Ian is always trying to push Sonic forward, in terms of like his character growth. He can't do much, but he
Right.
always acknowledges that this character has been through 30 years of adventures, even if it isn't technically 30 years according to its own canon. But I don't
It's
know, like
close
that
enough.
that maturity and experience shines through with his interpretation of the character. And you know, if Sonic is going to be this perfect hero that Sega has made him out to be in the last few games, I think they that he at least manages to justify it in ways that the other games haven't managed to do, if that makes any kind of sense. I think this is going to be the best story we've ever gotten in a spoken word Sonic game.
I also like the casual, almost fuck you to Pontaff from Takeshi Iizuka, where he's like, Ian Flynn bought great improvement. He's saying what we're all thinking.
Yeah.
There's some more stuff in here that I'm actually happy about. They've noted in here that they wanted to make Eggman be a more fleshed out human being and less just a maniacal villain. And I am all for that. I think that villains are a lot scarier when they're not just mustache twirling, when you can see the cracks in the facade, when you can see that no, this is a person who became this. That means anybody else can become this. Like, that makes a villain more impactful to me, and it seems like that's kind of what they're going for here, because they've said that, like, yeah, Eggman's in the story, he's here, he's a big part of it, but he's also not just going to be the maniacal cackling villain in the background like he normally is. They want to make him more of a human. I'm okay with that, especially with Ian writing him.
Yeah, that's his favorite character to write, and I think that's going to show.
It'd be cool if they even acknowledge Mr. Tinker. Also, Trey, are you happy?
I was going to say, Pup, I want to appreciate that. I think you're going for a very specific look. I also recognize what this actually is, and it works for both.
I love being in a cheese grater.
I haven't had the stream pulled up because I was like looking at the chat for the server. This is I'm happy. Thank you. I appreciate it. This is amazing.
This is for you. It's gonna make a few people's eyes hurt, I think. So I
just
might turn
realized
it off, but
Nick, you mentioned that Eggman was one of his favorite characters to write. Remember when Ian was posting on Twitter about his the line reads he was most excited to hear?
Yeah, he's really excited to hear Mike do some
very specific lines.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. We still have no idea what those are, but like the way they've described Eggman in this story, and now like reflecting back on those Twitter interactions, I'm very excited for this version of Eggman, because like one of the reasons that I've always liked the Dean Bristow Eggman is he was very, very grounded. Like, this was a person you could see doing the things he did. And then, like, we got Pollock, and I love Pollock. I love his performance, but he's much more cartoony with Eggman.
I really got to ask, where are you getting this background information on Bristow's Eggman? Because I got to be real. I love the adventure games, but I never got anything more out of Bristow's Eggman than I did Pollock's.
Oh, I got infinitely more out of his.
Like his the way Adventure 1 performance?
The way he inflects on words makes him sound more intelligent.
Yeah.
Like, he's a much more threatening presence, and he feels like he actually means business, and the kind of like crazy scientist who isn't just about silly Saturday morning cartoon schemes, and more of, I'm going to bring an eldritch horror out of its prison to rule reality. Like, that's what
Sonic
I got.
Fat AM not your favorite version of Robotnik?
Oh, I love Setting M Robotnik, but Adventure series it evens it out just a little bit more.
I'll say, like, here's the thing. I don't think Pollock can't do that performance, because there have been times where that type of sinister performance has shined through with him. Awkwardly, a lot of that was in Lost World. The whole, like, as long as my hands can strangle a Zeddy, I'll be fine. Like, the delivery on lines like that reminds me that, like, the Eggman that I love, the type of Eggman that I love, is well within Mike's ability.
But I mean, even terrible games aside, I thought Pollock's performance in 06 was really good. Did you like what I did there?
06?
Terrible games aside, 06?
Well, we also did hear some good, like, serious Eggman in this like weird little like fan project I heard of called Sonic and Tails R.
I was about to mention.
Yeah, it was like a radio show. Or something.
Main composer of that sucked, but yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, music was pretty fucking trash, but
music was pretty fucking awful. But
I mean, you can make like Trey, you weren't doing all the music there, so
I'm joking for myself.
I was gonna say you're casually ripping on people that aren't here.
No.
Everyone else did fantastic time except for some.
If it was just Trey, that would be fine.
God damn it.
So like my thing is not that Mike can't deliver that performance. He can. He very well can. But typically, the Dean Bristow Eggman has been the performance I love, and Mike's is a performance that I very much enjoy. Usually, the story of this game, the way it seems to be shaping up, it looks like I'm going to get Mike Pollock doing the Eggman that I love, the more sinister, the more grounded, the more real character.
I wouldn't call him a grounded, real character in the Bristow performances, personally. I don't think he's...
Yeah, same.
I love Bristow's Robotnik, and I love the adventure games, and I think they are a little richer on story, but I think by no means is Eggman any more deep in those games than he is in, like, Unleashed or 06, or... Like, I'd even go so far as Lost World, and even Forces, to be honest. Like,
he feels more like a... So here's my take. The Dean Bristow performance for Eggman feels more like a real person who has been put into a wacky situation and is going to try to control it. Whereas the Pollock Eggman feels like a person who's always existed within these wacky situations and knows how to control it. That's the line for me.
I
love them both.
Bristow sounds like a goofy cartoon evil scientist.
It is so much harder for me to take that like the more modern Eggman seriously. It's there's this thing that I notice is in because the scene from Lost World gets brought up every once in a while where it's like, oh yeah, he did have that one line where he actually sounded pretty serious in that game. But I'm also kind of tired of like giving credit to an entire game for like a single scene or a moment that lasts about 5 seconds.
But then Unleashed,
looking at
06.
I'm looking at you, Sonic and the Black Knight.
Unleashed 06, like, we've had plenty of good Pollock. I personally, I appreciate what you guys are saying.
We have good Pollock, but we don't have the same... We have Eggman, we don't have Robotnik.
I feel like
there's a growl to Bristow's that's not there. And to be completely fair, I don't think we will have... It would have been nice to see what Bristow could have done with better voice direction, because as far as I'm concerned, the localization of those early games...
Oh, it was pretty bad.
It's rough. It's rough. And I think, again, Sonic and Tails R showed us, even with age, that a little bit more experience in voice direction goes a very long way.
For sure.
Yeah.
No one wants to do a bad performance, like, at all, you know? So it's like giving them the opportunity to do that.
I don't think there's a Robotnik or Eggman performance that I hate. I'm very thankful that I managed to grow up with like three radically different versions of this one character. And I don't know, man. Like I've learned to like Bristow a lot more, mostly from hanging out with these two weirdos with the glasses on. But also, like Pollock is he's really grown on me, and I'm really excited to see what he's going to sound like with an Ian Flynn script.
And that's I should state, I know I'm ripping on Pollock a lot here, and I've done that plenty in the past. He's a good voice actor, and he's good as Eggman. Like, I don't want to... I want to say that my issues are usually more in terms of the writing, not necessarily his performance, and I think he owns the character. It's just not my preferred, like, villain for Sonic, I guess. Or at least portrayal.
I guess
but that doesn't mean
easiest...
it doesn't mean it's wrong, and it doesn't mean it's not good enough. It just means I kind of miss Bristow.
I mean, my favorite, and always will be favorite, is Long John Baldry. But, like...
Of course.
I've accepted that, like, my time with this franchise, my peak time, my best days are behind me, probably. I'm retiring.
Oh, that's me, like, every day.
I think for me, it's like, if I were to put it as numbers, like, Sat AM Robotnik, we've got, for me, is like a clean, like, 98, 99, like, you're as close to perfect as you're going to get. Bristow is right under that. Pollock is right under that for me. Like, and they're all still within the 90s. So it's like, I'm not saying that I think that Mike's performances are bad. Just if I have to put a hierarchy of Eggmen, he's third in my hierarchy.
I have nothing but respect for the man that could just say the word snooping as usual and make it sound like penis. That's artistry. But As it were, like Long John Baldry was also a super talented musician as well. Like he was an absolute legend.
Oh,
Rest
yeah.
in peace, Long John
hell
Baldry.
yeah.
Rest in peace, Dean Bristow. Like, hell yeah.
We've lost two legends, regardless of
We-
whatever
we
our
have.
favorites are. Those two were phenomenal actors, and you know what, man? Like, even if I like Pollock just fine or whatever, like I think I've really. It took me a long time to really give a crap about any of the voice actors in general. To be honest with you guys, I remember the first time I
Right.
saw Radical Soda's video on the voice actors, and I was just like, I just kind of shrugged, like, who cares? Turns out everybody here cares. A whole lot.
Yep.
And I've forgotten like how important that was for me when Sonic was going to show up with a voice in the video games for the first time. I was really, really anxious to hear how these characters were going to sound. And yeah, while it's a little stilted, I'd say for a first time out in 1998, 99, I thought they nailed them all
Yeah.
beautifully.
I still just
And-
I love Ryan Drummond's performance in Sonic Adventure 1. Also just paired with this
I
little...
love the snotty, shittier Sonic.
Yeah, the thing
he
is,
does it so well.
it almost feels unintentional. He's just this little scrimbler that just yells things. I think
It's a little bit. I keep forgetting. I was like, I like Jason's performance, and I think I liked both of them just from like how they talked shit to Knuckles both times.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, way to go, knucklehead!
I still just love like,
grew
where
on
you
me.
going, you big drip?
Yeah, but Jason's had to grow on me because, man, I remember the first time I heard the localized Sonic X, I was like, I guess Knuckles is gonna fight Bugs Bunny. I suppose.
Yeah, I remember very early on some of the this was like Sonic X 06 and Shadow the Hedgehog were like the newest games and media we had, and I remember the conversations and even the like a shit ton of YouTube videos that were talking about Jason's voice work, and they all had the same criticism of like, he always sounds like this, and just that constantly and nothing but that, and
He's
then like
always observational. Like,
and then yeah, and then as we got more games with him, as we got stuff like Unleashed and Black Knight and Secret Rings, we got more performances out of him where he was able to actually show other sides of his emotion. And then like that I noticed just that conversation flip awkwardly. Most of that conversation flip seemed to have started around the time we got Roger Craig Smith, because this is a weird thing about the Sonic fandom where like they don't
Yeah.
seem to celebrate people, with a few exceptions like Eggman, until they're gone.
but we're also really fickle as well. Like, the new thing will come around and we're like, oh, that's the best thing ever. And then like 5 years down the line, we're like, I no longer wish to be friends with
How
this.
did I enjoy the Sonic Color story?
Like,
I don't get it.
That's what it's
that
going to be
thing.
with Prime. Is like Devin Mack and the new cast are going to come on, and we're going to be like, they're the best ones yet. And then like season
And
2
then in
comes
2
out. It's like,
years,
season 2 Sonic Prime's like, oh, can you just get new voice actors already? I'm bored.
I feel like it goes the opposite way with a lot of fans. I think they're very averse to change, and then we wait for the other fans to grow up to say, no, I like this thing.
I think
I-
Sonic fans are all about change until change happens.
So is that? So I do want to ask though.
That wasn't
is
even meant to
that
be funny.
No, that's fucking true,
but it's true though.
I do
It
want to
doesn't
ask
need to be
though.
funny to
Is
be
that
real.
is that any different from any other franchise though?
Oh yes, the
It
Sonic
feels
fan
a
base is
little-
very, very different to every other fan base. It's very different.
No,
indeed.
no. So my thing is like, so working where I do, I see a lot of different people from a lot of different generations and walks of life. They all grew up with a different like era of video games, and each one is stuck in their nostalgia of something. I can't
Yep.
tell you how often I get people who act like a 3D Mario game is the most confusing and daunting thing in the world. To this day, they will not touch Mario 64, Galaxy, anything like that,
What?
because to them, it's it has to be on a 2D plane going left to right, or it's too confusing.
Oh,
Two,
actually,
I
two
think
two
no,
new
no, no,
gamers when
I
they walk
experienced
forward.
that.
Whoa, what the fuck?
Here's the thing.
I'm being
I know you're
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're being
Yeah,
serious.
I know people like that, and that's fine, man. Like
Yeah,
that is
well,
a
that's-
much more complicated game.
And that's what I'm talking about though, is that
Right.
like working in a game store where you're dealing with people that are a lot older than us or younger than us, you start to kind of see how each of them has been taught what video games are and what video games are to them, what kind of
Right.
experiences they're looking for, and none of them are wrong. It's why I still like that we get 2D Mario and Sonic games today, but it's like why I still want 2D and 3D Metroid to coexist. I think that there's a place for all of it.
Except Sonic
Yeah,
Forces fans, they can
100%.
fuck them. Now,
I can kind of I can kind of see the mindset. Like I was kind of like, what? Why would they think it's more complicated? But then I remember the first time I played Metroid Prime, and I was like, oh shit, this is way more vast than the 2D stuff I'm used to.
I mean, even
So it
looking
might be like the
to-
same thing.
Even looking to the future, we do run the risk of being, like, in some ways, gamer generations before us, because I do remember when I first got into Sonic, and I tried to become a part of the Sonic fan community, like, it was Sonic Unleashed, and I was one of the few people, well, I was one of the people that was like, I think I actually prefer Sonic in 3D. And I used to get dogpiled on, like, comment sections by classic fans saying, oh, you kids growing up with the new ones, you don't know what you're talking about, the classics are. And the thing is,
children.
we do run the risk of becoming that with, like, Sonic Forces people who grew up with that
You
era.
already are.
Oh, I already am.
No,
I already am.
that's the
And
thing,
I
is,
am-
like, the reality is, we joke, but, like, I am trying to stay open to the fact that there is a standard that exists where Sonic Forces can be considered a better game than the ones that I like, than Sonic Unleashed, than Sonic Adventure. As hard as it is for me to believe that sometimes less content can be better, like, to them, it's
Yeah.
probably more streamlined, requires less patience, it's more spectacle. And it's like, you can take anything and turn it into an insult. You can, like, take, oh, it requires less patience because you guys have no attention span. But at the same time,
Yeah.
you can be like, oh, wow, classic fans getting all excited seeing a marble. Like, you know, you can turn anything into an insult.
Well, that's like I do want to stress. I think that this isn't me saying that we should denote critical thinking or throw
No,
away
not at
like
all, you know.
actual criticism and everything. Because there's different criticisms that can be levied at any generation of games. Like every generation has its problems. I can still go into a long laundry list of reasons as to why I think Sonic Forces is inferior to what came before.
Sure.
That said, I think it's still important to keep an open mind as games continue to evolve and as the market continues to grow, that sometimes what's really going to be kind of at the heart of everything is, you know, the mom and dads that come into my shop that don't play games all the time, that don't know this stuff like
Right.
on the back of their hand. They're casual gamers. They're the ones at the end of the day who keep this market alive, not us. We have some influence, but we're not like the main thing bringing in the dough, I don't think.
Exactly, but I see it happening already with, like, adventure fans on Twitter being like, oh, here come the Forces fans all grown up.
Yep,
And it's
they're
like,
growing
but
up
it's like-
now. Stop them.
But it's like, remember how you felt when the classic fans were slagging off your thing. So it's like, I'm not saying don't criticize it. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
we do need to keep an open mind as to why some people might say Sonic Forces is better
Yeah.
than Sonic Unleashed, Sonic Forces is better than Sonic 3 and Knuckles, you know? Like,
I will say it is dumb seeing takes where people are like, this game has so much ambition, then they like praise the UI.
That's the thing. Like, that's the thing. I mean, like, I feel like I get waved off a lot just for being an older fan, but like, I think there needs to be a difference between like critical thinking about what makes this a well put together game versus I just like this game.
100%,
Yeah,
but it is a
absolutely.
Right.
separate conversation. Like,
Yeah.
It is an
And-
entire. You're right. You're 100% right there.
We've also
Yeah.
we got to treat Nick well here. We got to treat our old timer well, because we don't want to be treated like
We
shit
don't know
by
how
the
long
Forces
we're going-
fans.
We don't know how long we're gonna have him.
Nick doesn't want to
Oh,
talk.
shut up.
I don't think Nick wants to take shit from Sonic Adventure 2 fans any more than I want to take shit from Forces fans, you know? Like, we got to look after
Especially,
them.
especially because
So,
Forces fans
I
are
don't-
wrong.
What is weird, I've always found this fascinating
Sorry,
growing up.
sorry.
It feels like it's not SA1, but it is SA2 where that divide really and truly starts
The
to happen.
line in the
I
stand.
feel like a
yeah.
lot of classic fans were super, super hyped for Adventure. And I certainly was. It's my second favorite Sonic game. I guess it's just because of like how widespread the fan base became after Adventure 2 and then eventually Heroes dropped.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I've always found this stuff super, super interesting.
I think Sonic Adventure 1 was the transition to modern. So no one make any jokes about Sonic and transitions, okay? I'm sick of it. But, like, Adventure 1 was the transitionary period between classic Sonic and modern Sonic, even down to the way he looks in that game as well.
Well, yeah,
that was the big push.
Yeah, because like Sonic didn't have a mainline game in the Saturn, so the mindset was to make Sonic a system seller again. It's like, how do we do that? Well, we have to kind of like pseudo reinvent him. Not really, because Adventure still carries a lot of the same core design philosophies of the classic games.
It did exactly what a 2D franchise going into 3D should have done.
Yeah, exactly. Agreed.
There's a lot of extra fluff on there, fishing and
of course,
Omega, and not Omega, Gamma.
All of it's.
It really is a shame that they didn't like do more of it. You know, like
just that particular playstyle for Sonic, dude. I just like that's what I miss, and I get kind of tired of like getting thrown out of the conversation. It's like, oh, you just like the classic games. Not saying you guys do that. I'm just saying like in comments and stuff like that. When I put out a full video and then like, oh, you're just a classic cuck. Like, well, I mean, if you want to be a baby and throw names around, good for you. But like, what I've been waiting for this entire time is like, I want to see that classic momentum put into a 3D space, because I feel like it would be a hell of a lot of fun.
It would, yeah.
It's almost kind of narrative poetry in a way, in that Sonic moves too fast. In that, like, he's all like, gotta keep on moving forward with these different play styles. It's like, yo, hang on, I like that one. Nope, moving forward, we're doing parkour now.
Yep. See, it's like poetry, and that it rhymes.
They rhyme. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
It's like the we have a word for that. It's called a thought terminating cliche. When like instead of actually having any type of argument, they've got this like bucket of ideas, and if you happen to exist within that bucket of ideas,
you're good.
Then you can get dismissed very, very quickly.
Oh, you're bad.
Yeah, and it's like I wish I could remember the exact phrasing. I don't know if any of you guys have seen Steak Bentley on YouTube.
His name is Steak. Is that actually his name?
That's not his actual name. No.
Oh man, he's so cool. If I have a kid, I'm calling it Steak.
His actual name, Channel Pup.
He's
no, but Steak Bentley sounds more like a name than Channel. Come on.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
He did
you literally were just like, is his name Steak?
Steak could. Okay, look. Steak could be
Have
a
you
name.
met anyone
Channel
named
is
Steak?
not. Look. You got in America. You got all kinds of craziness. You got people called like Rusty and stuff. Like, there's no reason why you couldn't have like
fair.
steak.
I
And
don't know if
barbecue
Rusty's
sauce.
on anybody's birth certificate.
Oh, okay. Someone hasn't watched the
I had
National
a-
Lampoon's
He
Vacation
had a point.
movie then.
Wait, had a point. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna time out.
9:59.
I'm out of here.
He did an amazing analysis of Metal Gear Solid 4. It's like 3 hours long or something
Steak.
like that. It's one of the best videos on the platform. But he was talking about like the Metal Gear Solid series and how like things did kind of take a dip in quality if you're looking at it from a certain way. But he I just liked the simplicity in which he said it. He was like, the only thing that seemed to go down was if you're uncreative and unwilling to elaborate, bad writing, and then he just kind of leaves it there, because that's all that we see in these arguments is just people unwilling to elaborate because they don't actually have a point. They're just like, no, this goes against what I have accepted as the true good or bad of this franchise, and if you're going against that, then you're wrong.
Oh, speaking of this though, I just remembered the piss is a thing. And I checked the piss.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, we've not
No, like, so in kind of spirit of this conversation, so Games Cage Fatal had an interview with the Game Informer journalist Brian.
Wait, did you say Fatal?
Fidel?
You mean Fidel?
Oh, okay, my bad. Fatal.
You cannot make fun of me for a mispronunciation ever again.
How many times have I ever made fun of you for mispronunciation?
The evil delic is what I always fucking hear
Oh,
all the time.
come on, that's only fair.
Not you. That was Nick.
This is Mr.
Wait, are you
Delic.
not the same?
That was
Listening to
Nick.
him
This is Mr.
about Hydro City. I feel like I'm like a mayor running.
Yeah, fuck you, Trey. You thought it was Hydrocity, you fucking idiot.
Hey,
shit.
it is
You
Hydro
piece
City.
of shit. You gotta teach me how to do that when I'm out there. Nick.
That pronunciation
Piece of
in it.
Anyways,
Oh.
okay,
Anyway,
so
yeah.
yes,
Fatal.
I
Wait,
just
Trey,
feel like
Trey, hold on. Did you just do a Mike Pollock? Woo!
Wait, hang on. Wait, serious.
Wait, dude.
Serious.
Yes,
Wait,
you did.
serious. Were you unaware it's
need to-
pronounced Pollock?
I need to like Photoshop.
Foidles.
I need to Photoshop Fidel as like Terry Bogard and just like have it say Fidel Fury.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Fidel. All right. Okay. So, Fidel's interview with Brian. Brian suggested that Sonic is slower in Frontiers, but he actually has some momentum-based gameplay. Now, to that I say, I'll believe it when I see it. But
Yeah.
thoughts?
Well, I think that just shows you just how much this game relies on momentum. Where they're like, oh, I think there's some momentum in his movement. I'm like, all right, that's cool.
I mean, I don't
guess.
know. I'm paraphrasing. Hang on, let me get the thing up. Why did I not get the thing up? I should have got the thing up. Hang on.
Check out the thing. Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
but
the actual interview?
No,
I
it's the
think the
it's-
gameplay we've seen speaks for itself. I think it's just boost gameplay.
No, but like let me find the thing. My friend sent me a thing, and that's what I need to look at.
No, but Nick, you don't understand. A giant open world with grind rails, people are gonna spend 5 seconds on, and they would rather do it poorly, but say that there's physics.
Look,
here's
Takeshi
the thing.
Iizuka has said himself, "You don't understand the game."
Oh
yeah,
my
that's true. You don't understand.
All right, so
This-
we
this-
got a full list
You just-
of shit here.
You just
okay?
don't understand.
I
Secret
understand
Rings.
his other games. Is
So-
the problem.
Here's a summary of Fidel's interview about Sonic Frontiers. This comes from the Twitter page Sonic Frontier, okay? So, the demo that Brian played was an earlier build than the IGN showcase build, so that means that even Sonic took too long to pop up. He didn't unlock the full ending, just the Northwest. The game won't have a last card characters, okay? It starts with a CGI cutscene of Robotnik trying to take control of the island, but failing, and he ends up getting sucked into cyberspace.
He gets to suck.
Yeah, that's why I said it in
Good
that
stuff,
pacing.
yeah.
The
So
circles.
Amy's quite a big part of like the gameplay loop. But okay, Sonic controls very good. He has the right weight and feels connected to the ground. He feels fast, not as fast as the Boost game, and from what he played, Sonic definitely seems to have momentum in his movements. But the thing is, that could mean anything. I'm gonna be real. Like the Boost games, they do have momentum, just minimal usage and minimal reason to use it. But it's like
it's not built upon. It's very basic.
it's not like a central part, like because like you can struggle to run up a hill in Sonic Generations, but that's provided you stop boosting to check. Like that's the main thing.
You have to go out of your way to experience it.
The
Pretty much.
it's suggested that there might be more than 7 cyberspace levels per each island. That's just like an estimate, and there are like 5 missions for each cyberspace stage. Like for example, get an S rank, collect red rings. It's grindy stuff basically.
I mean, that's some Tony Hawk stuff I'm kind of
Yeah.
into. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
It sounds good. Like it all sounds promising to me. As far like even if it's not a momentum, if it's just another Boost game, it still sounds like a step up. As far
I
as
mean,
I'm
yeah,
concerned.
like at the end of the day, while I don't like Boost the most in terms of Sonic mechanics, I don't hate
Control.
those games. You know,
My favorite
No.
part is
Yeah.
probably gonna be where Sonic is like popping into this new place, and he says,
Everything's
"Here I
popping in.
am, getting older all the time."
I don't get it.
he's doing a Tony Hawk joke.
Yeah, I think my favorite part is going to be when Wayne just goes nuts over the fucking temples.
I would love.
I am going to
He's-
nut.
We
over
haven't
these-
actually seen a temple yet. I just want to point that out.
We better.
We
I mean,
get to
he's-
see a temple.
You're gonna get some weird kind of Art Deco temples, so just heads up there,
Oh.
Wayne.
I want temples. Hey, dude, I'll take Art Deco temples. I like the look of those cyberspace levels where it's got roads and rails everywhere.
Yeah.
That's cool visually. That
Enjoy
was great.
running on one of them.
I don't care. I like seeing it in the background. I don't have to interact with everything I see.
It is true. I mean, there's a
That
lot
would
of
be
back.
kind of cool. That's kind of the point of a 3D start.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I really wanted to run on those fucking mountains in the background of Hilltop Zone, but I couldn't.
You see those mountains in the distance? You can't get there.
You know what?
Yeah,
you
that
know
sucks.
Hey, in like Sonic Adventure 1 when you're in the Lost Kingdom or the Lost World, whatever it was called.
Lost World.
And you're
Snake.
you go out into the balcony and you see like the trees stretching across the plains of the Mystic Ruins.
Why can't we go there?
Outside of this temple? Yeah, not once did I ever think, oh man, this level sure is cool, but man, it's a 3D Sonic game. I should be running across all those freaking trees.
I mean,
Sometimes it could just
Yeah,
to be-
because it was
to be
1999, Wayne.
To be 100% fair, you fuckers, is those trees, you do actually get to run through them at the Mystic Ruins, effective. That is geographically where that is. Now,
There's a lot of time there though.
here's the thing I'm gonna fucking say, is that no, I don't need to run on every single crevice and surface, but it does annoy me a little bit when those background areas look like game mechanics. So like when I'm in like Green Hill and like it's like Lost Valley at the start of Sonic Forces. You can see this loop-de-loop right ahead of you, but you don't actually get to go on it, you know? Like that's a mechanic right there.
That was
the
point of Green
go
Hill.
on that.
Like that would completely change my outlook on Green Hill. Like even forgiving the reuse assets for 11 years is just like the original intention. And I feel like a lot of this discussion today, we've just been repeating a lot of stuff we said in previous episodes.
I thought this was going to be
Surprise,
about
Sonic
music.
fans. But like,
Have you
We're still
listened
waiting
to
for
our
the
podcast?
second one. For that.
but no, like
yeah.
Green Hill was meant to be a jungle gym. It's a playground. You're supposed to be able to jump on all of these platforms and go through the loops and tunnels and have a whole bunch of fun. And the closest we ever got to that is a secret level in Sonic Adventure 2.
To be fair, though, it's the kind of thing where if you said that to Izuka, he'd just turn to you and say, "Not anymore," and then the argument would be over. Like that's just it. That,
Is there momentum in this game? No.
hey,
No, I'm
what do Sonic fans want? Chow Garden. Is there a Chow Garden in the game? No.
No.
No. That was so funny. Like, look, I want the Chow Garden more than probably anyone else, but that was the most hilarious thing I've ever
I've
The
just-
seen.
thing
like
is,
that
though,
is so
it
eager to
proves
say no.
It proves that he knows. He knows what you want.
Well, yeah,
You
they're
know-
listening.
knowing your
There's a
target-
difference between listening and executing.
Yeah,
It's like knowing your target audience and then just going, no.
I mean, I was kind of saying this in the chat, is like, and like there is backup for this in that, like, you know, what Stealth said regarding Sonic Origins was like, you know, Izuka's a cool guy, he's pretty misunderstood and stuff. I do get the feeling that, like, if you replaced Izuka, the problems would still all be entirely there, because he's answering to Sega of Japan, ultimately. I get the feeling, from everything I'm hearing, that Izuka would like nothing more than to make Sonic Adventure 3. And that he's going to say, like, can I make it now? And he's like, no, fucking make this instead. You know?
Yeah, it's like I
But
can't
then
speak
he'll-
for the guy, but I do also get that impression.
But then we literally get the whole, don't worry, guys, the next one will be Sonic Adventure 3.
No, that was the thing.
also-
is like,
I also, I was gonna say, like, in that same interview, Izuka said that they didn't even have plans for the next Sonic game after Frontiers at the moment, and that does kind of bother me.
well, no,
because,
he
like,
said
why?
he did. So in that interview, the one that was on the IGN thing, he said, yeah, no, we don't know what's next. In the one with Game Informer, they said, do you know what the next Sonic game is? And he's like, yeah. And they also
Oh, he
asked,
figured it out this past week. Don't worry.
They did.
I mean, we don't
like-
know when that was recorded for IGN. Let's face it. Like that could.
He's just like, we're gonna replicate the Sonic Adventure 2 environment to a T. You have 11 months to complete this.
It's also worth noting, though, like, that can actually happen. It can just be like, do you know what the next Sonic game's going to be? No. You go to work one day, say, like, this is what the next Sonic game is. Do you know what the next Sonic game's going to be? Yes. So, like,
Yes.
it can, to be fair, happen.
Fair enough. That kind of worried me because, like, that interview where he did mention SA3, it seemed like everyone was hyper focused on that, and I'm like, no, I want an Adventure 3, but I would want a Frontiers 2. I would want, like, Frontiers to
I
be so
want
good
this
that I
game
would
to
want a
make-
Frontiers to be good. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, like, I'm sorry, but old man in the room was just like, yeah, I wanted Sonic 4 one time in my life. So,
And then you got it.
Yeah, then you got Sonic Mania, man.
Yeah, you got
that
you
like
got
took
real
20
Sonic
After
years,
4.
23
and we're
years.
never
So-
going to get it again.
So it's not Sonic Adventure 3 we want, it's Sonic something else, which feels like Sonic Adventure. I don't
You
know
want
where I'm
Sonic-
going with this.
You want
but
Sonic Poibles.
Sonic Foibles.
I would play that.
Sonic Foibles. I would so play Sonic Foibles. They've been on a Sonic dash F word craze with Forces and Frontiers. Let's keep it going with Foibles.
Sonic
Get them
fuck.
foibles. I mean, where are we in terms of, I mean, games?
In general?
I've
I don't
not,
know.
like, is that all we took away from Fidel's interview?
Yeah.
Is
I
that
didn't
there's
know- I didn't
it's
know
good.
Is there anything else?
I mean, short of
this is-
actually breaking down the entire interview, not everything there is stuff that we know. I watched the interview, and like a good chunk of it in like the first half is like, in 1991, there was Nintendo GameCube, which had Sonic
What?
Unleashed, and I didn't like it.
Whose voice is that?
I think you're doing like that weird Russian dude
This
using the YouTube videos.
Is my Xbox One, and this is a Nintendo shit cube. The reason why I call it a Nintendo shit cube is because it is piece of shit.
No, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know Fidel had an interview with anybody until like this morning when y'all
Yeah.
brought it up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
People are
I've been.
just scraping for any kind of detail about this game.
Graphics
Yeah.
by ATI.
I just
Man,
want. I just want.
at
Like,
this-
ATI my ass.
I kind of don't want to know too much more until it's out. I want to be.
yeah.
I want to have a Breath of the Wild experience with this game, in that was a big game where I went into it. They don't really tell you what all is in there in Hyrule. You just gotta go find it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I want that, but I just want one solid good trailer. Just one solid good trailer that sells me on the game,
Is
and
that
I'm
what
like, all right,
trailers
I
should
I
be?
want
want
here's
one
what
solid
you're
good
gonna
game.
get. Here's what you're gonna
I
get,
want-
Trick. You're
I want
going
one
to
solid
get
good life.
you're going to get one of the confirmed voice lines from the game, and that's going to be all that's in the trailer. It's going to be Sonic running around in a field saying, "Wow, that looks like a good place to put a Chow garden," and that'll be it. That is all you will get.
Already confirmed that that's one of the lines. Yeah.
Yes,
Wow,
that's
this is-
exactly why that's going to be there.
Hey,
Wow,
Lois,
this
remember
is-
the time I had a chow?
It better be near Clearwater, or else they're wrong.
This is starting to look more like a sand garden.
Damn it!
This Chow Garden's looking more like a Wisp Garden right now. Oh.
Oh no!
Ah.
Please
He's
stop hurting me.
Say Crush 40 lines. When he talks to.
I guess I'll just
Yeah.
always be Sonic
But-
Forces.
But yours is filled with evil, and mine is not.
Wow, this is really a Sonic Adventure 2 battle.
Wow, this really is a Sonic the Hedgehog 4 episode 2.
Now all I gotta do is imprison the natives and call this the Sonic Frontiers.
This really is a Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood.
Trey, do you want to? Trey, do you want a chicken wing, my beloved?
Chicken? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, here you
I
go.
can't
Hang on,
wait. I
hang
can't
on.
wait for Sonic to say the iconic line.
Eat up.
All right.
It's Morbin time.
Make eating sounds.
No, it's jam and juice time.
Hold
Juice
on.
and jam
There you
time.
go.
Little
That's the fucking joke. The
we go.
actual
That's my
scene
unique talent.
where Uncle
There you
Chuck
go.
gets it wrong. Thank you, Nick.
You're welcome.
Cyrus, your turn.
No, I'm good.
Eat the chicken wing.
You don't want a chicken wing?
You got to remember, Cyrus, it was made in America, therefore it's illegal because Japan always knows what's best for Sonic.
Eat the chicken wing.
I like how in these
Just
fucking
imagine-
interviews
Imagine-
they've actually confirmed it. Like, yeah, Sonic's just not that popular here in Japan.
We fucking hate Sonic.
Oh no, but
Yes.
Mobius and Freedom Fighters are not canon, so they shouldn't be in the games because Japan clearly knows what the hell they're doing.
Can you imagine? Okay, can you imagine? Because like I know that that Ian has said that there's going to be a lot of name drops, and it's mostly what is going to be doing is the name drops. So can you imagine Sonic just runs around? He goes, "This reminds me of that time with Sally," and that's just it. Just like nothing else.
That was literally it. Like, this is how desperate. Like, this is like Clonoa fan levels of desperate here, right? If that was all I ever got in the mainline games, I would die happy.
I put the chicken
Leave it
wing on
silent?
the beach.
Just leaving it silent there.
It's on
I
the
don't need
beach.
them to be a main part of the game. I didn't like them when I was a kid.
You
I
just need
want-
to know that they exist.
I just want to reference all this wonderful extra canon that was brought to the table and bring it to the games. Like, this is a dead, boring world. Fill it out. It's all
Yeah.
there.
Are you saying that considering it Legends canon isn't fulfilling?
Look,
No.
there are some things that
No.
deserve to
These
stay in
Legends get
canon.
action figures, Wayne.
Oh,
It's
damn.
ridiculous.
Actually, you're right. You got me there.
Next, we're going to get the fucking game about Sonic being on a jungle planet with a bunch of weird people. That was a
Ready
weird
for
book.
Zeti?
There's a Star Wars Legends book about Mace
Oh.
Windu going on to a jungle planet, and there's a lot of weird racist stuff in it that doesn't.
Wow.
It's
That's
very
appropriate for this
strange.
show. Thank you for bringing that up.
110%.
Bringing down the mood here, sir.
This is literally. You brought up Legends canon. This is literally the franchise.
Racism. You're right. 100%.
Yeah, Shadow the Hedgehog talks about it. In the
Your
famous
punishment
line.
for your racism is
God.
I've put you on fire, sir.
In his defense, I did also make the Sonic Frontiers joke.
You did do
Yeah,
that.
you did.
You did.
We
That's
are the
racist side of
worst.
the table.
All
we
right,
are-
Wayne, you two are going to be on fire in that case.
We are the
Gladly.
terrible people.
It's a good thing you guys are in water. Chicken wings just sitting on the beach.
They're on fire, but it doesn't mean anything. They can just jump in.
All right. Well, guys, last little bit of things here before we get into our fun topic for the day, because we really are just repeating. Like, if Emmy's folks are not used to us, like this might be new opinions, but anybody who listens to us on our main channel, they're used to all of these opinions. I think we've had some of these talks verbatim, and not too long ago. Last little thing here.
The chicken wings on fire.
Sonic Origins is getting a patch. I kind of feel like that was always in the cards, but I don't know how much is actually going to be fixed.
We don't have any
I-
details on what the patch is doing.
Oh,
is my concern.
they've fixed the music. Jun Sano will now be playing all of the Sonic 3 soundtrack underwater.
Oh, nice. Perfect.
You know
It's
what?
about
Like,
that
if they
whenever-
just gave him a
that'd be
guitar,
fun.
I'd be fine with him going ham. I don't care
Yeah,
if it's
go-
original sound font or not.
Get the actual hard
Keep
times.
him the hell
in
away
mind.
from
It's
middies.
not. Well, the Genesis. It's not a sound font. It's an instrument.
What the hell ever.
Get the actual hard times by
These
the Jetsons.
these details matter to me, Nick. I'm sorry.
I'll
Ima-
let
wait,
you,
wait,
like,
wait,
know, music or
imagine.
something.
Imagine if they
Oh,
said,
yeah.
okay, we've restored the Michael Jackson soundtrack back in there, but they put it all in the wrong places, so Carnival Night now plays over Ice Cap.
Yeah, nice caps inside
No,
too. That'd be
Door
funny.
into,
Knowing them,
Or
they find
into-
a way.
Door into Summer plays over Ice Cap.
Honestly, that would be way better. I love that song.
It's a
That
good
would be an
song.
improvement over what we got now, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I think the only one of those new tracks that is that bad is the Carnival Night ones. I think Ice
Carnival
Cap's
Night's
fine.
Oh,
absolutely
the instruments
fine.
on
I agree.
the muted instruments on all of them sound bad to me.
I
They're
mean, yeah, but
actively
that applies
distracting.
to all of the Sonic 3 soundtrack on there, as far as I'm concerned. It all sounds muffled. Like,
Oh, it doesn't sound as actually. Yeah, now that you
It,
mention
do,
I think
it does.
Like,
Yeah.
even Angel
I'll go
Island
into-
sounded a little
yeah.
off.
they're all
I'll
muffled. I
go
don't know
into
what they
detail.
did.
Yeah, I'll go into detail about
They
it. but,
messed
like,
it up?
It seems that like most of all the even sound effects and music, even that's in the original Sonic 3 Knuckles in Origins, is like all like muffled and quieter, like super quiet. And I'm like, what happened? Like, how'd y'all
this
even
is,
mess this up?
These guys were a big contender in the market once, you know.
Sonic arrives on the snow island in Sonic Frontiers. It's like, whoa, hard times, happiest days of my life.
Oh my god.
God. Yeah, Carnival Night Acts 1 and 2 are both pretty trash. They're actually wrong theory-wise as well. I'll go into that whenever I get around to it. But yeah, even the music theory of both those tracks sound off.
We have a
Yeah.
slight problem in that the fire appears to be spreading. Like, now the plate of chicken wings is on fire.
I'm kind of glad Amy isn't here. I don't think she would be a fan of being on fire.
Would she be a fan of you being on fire?
Probably.
So
Well, there you go.
I want to talk about these patches a little bit because I've been very curious. I do think some of the more obvious ones, like the busted tails AI, is probably going to get fixed up.
That needs to be fixed. It ruins the fucking game.
Boing?
I don't know how it works in terms of Sega. Like, if they just had Stealth and his team work on Sonic 3 and Knuckles, I don't know if they're going to be able to does Sega own the retro engine? Could they have other people do that? Because like Stealth has not I'm on his Twitter right now. He tweeted like mad for a little while there, like June 23rd, surprise, and he's not put anything new out since then. And if you guys don't remember, he was like the day of release. That is the day Origins released. He was like, so this ain't my fault. This ain't my team's fault. Sega's fault. And we talked about it like last week and the week before that. Do you guys think that Sega would actually work with him again?
I don't.
No.
It's
I would
hard to
hope
say.
so. Like,
No, there's no way. Like, here's the thing when it comes to like the business and everything. Like, and I'll keep it vague, but like, you sign contracts and you're only able to talk about so much with NDAs and everything. If the day of release of a project, you like go on the spiel, reveal a bunch of stuff, even if it's true, that company is more than likely not going to be able to work with you anymore because you breached contract.
Yeah, plus I feel like I could answer your question with a question. Have you ever seen how a Japanese company like this acts?
Yeah.
Oh, whenever
Yeah.
you try to break hierarchy,
Yeah.
yeah, not very well.
I'm predicting now that they're never working with him again.
Yeah.
that's one way of
But
shooting yourself in the foot, though, because like he delivered him and his team delivered like one of their best like known games anyway. Like, you know.
Yeah, but it's Sega. They're stupid.
Yeah, I know.
we should have Mania 2.
It's
at this
business.
point.
We should.
Mania 2 is
I mean,
not happening
it's-
like ever.
It's another situation that seems to happen a lot with Sega and this franchise. It feels like, hey, we have a good working relationship right up until we don't. And I feel like, yeah, because I was saying last week, like I was kind of pissed, like, yeah, like Stealth does need to defend his team, but yeah.
For me, it's the timing. I feel like
Yeah.
if this happened like maybe like a month after release, after everyone started like kind of like finding these bugs on their own, and then people were asking him questions, he was kind of prompted to answer. And then after all the promotional material was already done and all that stuff, and it's like, okay, you know, I feel like at that point NDA is not even a thing, and you can kind of talk about it a little bit more. But like since it was the day of release, like that's breaching, and people
Yeah.
canceled their pre-orders because of that. And Sega as a business doesn't like that, even if everything was true.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're 100% right. I feel like both parties kind of screwed up, and the fans are going to pay for it one way or the
I
other.
think
Which sucks.
there's another side to that though, where like where NDAs work. There's usually because I've signed an NDA before.
Yes.
There's specific things you can talk about, specific things you can't talk about, and sometimes an NDA is very vague. You do not mention anything that happens with this company. That is not currently public knowledge. Like that, you can word an NDA like that, or you can say like, do not talk about specific projects or specific things within these projects. We don't know what the NDA said, so we don't even know if he's broken NDA. It's very likely he has, but we don't know that because we haven't read the legal material.
I'm less concerned about him breaking NDA, although that is probably something that did happen, and I'm more concerned with the light in which he painted Sega and them not being happy about it.
That's I think it's both. Like
Yeah.
I feel like even if it wasn't in the NDA contract of like him not talking about working relationships within Sega, I don't think Sega would want Stealth to do that anyways. And you know, as a company, you don't want what's that noise?
That is Pup
It's
being
Pup
gross.
giggling at his fucking chicken.
I'm trying
But
not
I-
to be disruptive. Like,
But
Yes,
like,
you
You
are.
have a mute. You have a
That
mute
was
button
such
for
a
that.
big giggle. Everyone look at me and my silly chicken leg.
I thought it was like a cup being dragged across a table. Like, that's what it sounded like.
About to be.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
But yeah,
dragged across the table.
Cyrus, do you not want to
I
make
get-
love to your new wife, the chicken wing?
the chicken wing.
No, I'm good.
But I guess to tie this thought into a bow, yeah, I feel like either way, I believe he did breach NDA, but even if he didn't, it's still one of those things where it's like after he posted that, a bunch of news outlets and a bunch of videos spread it like fucking wildfire, and were kind of taking Stealth's word as gospel. And like Stealth could be 100% right on everything, but as a company, you're like, no, right at release date, no, like we gotta take care of this and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah,
He was in a bad
It sucks.
situation, it sounds like, but yeah, at the end of the day, you got to be a professional. You got to take it
Yeah.
on the chin occasionally, and yeah, I mean, it's the more I look at, the more defensive this feels, more than professional. So yeah. So long and short of it, what I'm saying is we're probably not going to get proper updates to Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which offends me on a personal level.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm with you. Sonic 3 Knuckles is, I mean, it goes back and forth between my favorite Sonic game, that and SA1. So, like, I'm taking it, like, I feel the hit, I'm with you. I want people to play, I want this game to be more accessible. And this was the opportunity to, and now it's not even going to be the best version that it can be. So,
Thing is, though,
just
it's
kind of
not
like
gonna be the last time. Sorry, go ahead, Wayne.
Well, I was gonna say, there are definitely gonna be people who find this over dramatic, and it might be, but I'm at the point where seeing what Stealth said, and I can only assume at least a certain amount of it is true. And given the way Sega handled the work by this team, and the way that they would probably be happy to just kind of throw them under the bus for the quality, and the way that they have treated this entire project with such little care, I honestly, at this point, feel like trying to defend Sonic Origins as a product is actually, like, distasteful.
It's detrimental. This is not okay in the slightest. It's not fine. I don't care
Nope.
how okay some people had it with their game. The fact of the matter is, like, this is the pinnacle of the series. Yeah, I know a lot of people like the 3D stuff, but like, this is when Sonic ruled the world. Like, this is when he scared the shit out of Mario. Like, this was a big deal. And if they're just going to give us like the bare minimum, like the 5 games from the classic series, then I expect it to be the most polished ass version of those games as possible. And it is not remotely okay to put it out for $40 to $45.
Yes, that's
the bullshit they pulled off with the pre-order thing. And then on top of it, so like, this is okay to put out in this state. Old Genesis and Sega CD games, and we'll take care of it later.
This is one of the largest companies in the industry, handling one of the biggest and most important IPs with some of the largest and most influential titles that has ever been connected to it or them. Fine, decent, playable, are not good enough.
Nope.
No.
Like, those shouldn't have been the goals in the first place if they were.
You know what the saddest part of all this is? Like, they wanted to keep classic Sonic in the fray going forward. Like, Izuka said straight up, the goal for Sonic going forward is to keep classic Sonic in the fray. Now, allegedly, they've alienated Whitehead. I don't know if that's true, but the fact that Whitehead didn't return for Origins at all is a little telling to me. Now they've alienated Headcanon, and it sounds like they're probably never going to be working with Headcanon again. So it's like, they're gonna need a whole new...
If they bring classic Sonic back, it's gonna be probably a whole new team.
They would need either a whole new team, or going forward, get ready for the Sonic Origins re-release, and another re-release, and another one, because you classic fans, as far as Sega are concerned, just want to play the same games over and over again. You don't need anything new.
No, it's not like I've been desperately waiting for those mechanics in 3D. I definitely haven't been waiting for that.
Or at least Mania 2, or at least like the Advanced series coming back, which had which were built
like
off
beautiful hand-drawn art in 2D styles. Or
I want go on a tangent for a second, not a tangent, but like a little bit of like
just get it out of the system, Trey. Come on.
I am, but like I would love, like, as a kid, like, I was a huge fan of, like, obviously the adventure games, Sonic X, and like the advanced games. I always viewed the advanced games as an extension of Sonic X. It would be sick as hell to have a hand-drawn Sonic Advance re-release or even like sequel in the style of Sonic X, but had the fluidity of like the advanced games, like animations and stuff. Like that would be fucking sick.
Have better animation.
Yeah, but you can't expect that from the little indie studio that is Sega. the thing is,
they do their best.
The thing that's going to happen is you're going to see it. Like, the 35th anniversary comes around, Sonic Mania 2 gets announced, and it's like, from developer, Dimps.
From developer? I mean, if Dimps built it off the Advance 1 architecture, which was the classic physics, then I would actually be fine with that.
Even if they had, like, access to the retro engine, like, I guess it's better than nothing, but, like...
Yeah.
If they said
that
Dimps are
like
just
the
doing it
licensing of that
themselves.
engine, I am curious as to like whether that
That was
engine can
beautiful.
be licensed out.
I mean, if there's any games that really deserve like the widescreen treatment, I would say it's the advanced games. They
Rush.
desperately
Yes.
made them comparatively.
Rush. I want my Rush.
Rush is good, but like they did design it with those two screens in
With the
mind.
2 screens of mine.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would
wouldn't
like to
mind
see
it.
how they convert it. It would be
I
interesting.
wouldn't mind it because
Like,
I do I think the Rush games are ugly as shit.
I like the
Uh,
music though.
I'll fucking end you.
Hideki Naganuma did fucking phenomenal. I can see where Nick's coming from, where it's like the backgrounds are all 2D.
They're flat as shit.
Also,
dude.
Trey,
like,
did
compared
you-
to other 2D Sonic games?
Did
yeah.
you know that Otani did the soundtrack for the second one?
Oh, Rush Adventure?
Yeah,
Okay.
but he did it in the style of the previous game, obviously. That's one of Otani's
He
best
did.
works, I'd say. Like,
Yeah, I didn't even notice nothing ever like missed a beat for me when playing Rush Adventure
Yeah,
like this.
no, it's Otani.
We need those
Otani's
games
great.
widescreen, and we need it without the crunchy gargled speakers of the GBA.
Audio, yeah. Because some of those compositions in the advanced games are rad as hell. I want to
Yup.
remake some of
yeah,
those
the
and
Game
actually
Boy
cover
had a
them.
hideous sound chip.
Oh, it was mono and it was overdriven to shit. Like that's the sound of the Game Boy, where it's just like
Yeah.
it wasn't necessarily like the speaker. Like the speaker was literally being damaged as you had your volume on.
Didn't it
pretty
like
much.
literally not have a sound chip or something in the
It
GBA?
didn't.
Yeah.
No, it didn't.
So,
Oh man.
what is what's the plan for when we're actually going to do the music talk? By the way, because
That's a good question because I'm trying to get an answer from Emmy. I
Okay.
would want her to be here.
like how long do we have between us? Just out of curiosity.
I mean,
I'll get
Honestly-
forward in an hour.
Have
I've,
all
still got,
day.
I've got about an hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
let me see. But yeah,
I mean, yeah, it's whatever. Like Emmy's a busy kid. I understand.
Yeah.
Just she's at a casino right now. Not getting her
yeah, for sure. She's like,
Uh-huh.
"Oh, this was actually a prank, bro." Actually not.
She never. I mean, like behind the scenes, like bluntly, like she never actually like agreed to like we never confirmed that. She
As
was gonna be
far
on the
as-
show.
yeah, as far as I know.
we wanted Trey. Emmy, I mean, I guess she's got like a thing, like the 70K or whatever.
Yeah, so, yeah. We're celebrating that, I guess. No, she definitely wants to be here. Wants to be on it. I think she's just asleep.
No,
'Cause-
dude, like I love that like we've never like been on air together, but like the other night it was you, me, and Emmy, and like that was our first proper conversation, and it was fantastic. I had so much fun talking to you too.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's great, and like, yeah, it was fun. We like talked for fucking snored on call. That was great. That was fucking amazing.
You guys had a sleep call?
I slept. Fucking, I was tired as shit.
near the end. He started snoring.
Shut the
Okay.
fuck up.
Can't
I
relate.
was just like, Emmy, you might need to put your babby boy to bed. I'm gonna go to bed.
Shut the fuck up. But yeah, no. But no, like she's great to talk to, and like she's very knowledgeable about music and characterization, like those two specifically. Like, if there's
I feel
any
like
person,
Peter, like we've gotten close to like argue about Sonic characterization, and I'm so excited to. So excited to. I don't disagree with what she was saying, like because we were talking specifically, I think like issue 50 and his characterization and everything.
Mhm.
And I get where she's coming from, but like my entire script is kind of based around. I feel like part of the conversation that she helped start with this renewed conversation about Sonic's characterization on Twitter, I think she was the first to really kind of bring that back up, and
Yep.
I thought it was fascinating, like listening to both sides of that particular conversations, because I feel like a lot of people have a lot of interesting points on both sides. I was just
Yeah.
able to justify it in my own way. You guys can watch the fucking video, but
He says
Point is-
that. He says he's gritting his teeth.
All
the
I'm
entire
saying is
time.
that if Batman killed the Joker, the Batman comics would end.
that's the thing, though. And I say it in
Argument
the
over.
script. That's the thing. I say this in the script is like, yes, obviously sales have to be made, and yes, obviously this is a kid's book, but those are boring answers. Those are obvious answers.
Oh, are we talking
They're
about the
boring
should
answers,
Sonic
but they
kill?
are-
Are we
But
talking
they are
about?
pragmatic and logical.
Are we talking about
That's
the should Sonic kill
boring.
discussion again?
What?
I don't care.
So here,
missionary, you boring boy.
so I guess
get into
the
it.
thing is, like, when you have conversations like that, I think having the conversation from the perspective of the comics writer is an entirely separate conversation from the in-universe conversation. Because, like,
if you're going to bring that up in a comic book, then you need to have, like, then you need to break down that conversation thoroughly.
Yeah,
Right.
I guess, but like somebody else do it better, I guess, because you have to reach the same conclusion, and I don't see anybody else coming up with a better reason as to why he can't off his villains. I think
Well,
it's a
it's not that-
stupid
well, that-
argument.
Well, here's the thing: no one's asking Sonic to be a murderer. Like that's never been the problem.
I
No one's
don't
like,
know. I've been seeing a lot of people on Twitter specifically.
Oh, well, that's-
asking
that's
So
Sonic to
I
be a
have
murderer.
no idea what's going on here. Are we back to the should Sonic kill debate?
Yeah,
I
basically.
feel like
we're back here
Yeah,
again.
And my answer is still, hey, do you want this to be an ongoing story or not?
My answer is still Sonic doesn't kill. He's got a no kill rule.
well, no, Sonic doesn't kill. That would be stupid.
My-
Anyone who thinks that, and if
Like,
that's
can you
their problem with
imagine?
issue 50, they're missing the point.
Can
Like,
you
I
imagine
think
Sonic just snapping Eggman's neck? It doesn't look right if you picture it. you
I mean,
know?
Eggman
my
can,
thing is, I mean, we can have Scourge doing it, and then suddenly it looks fine. But, I think for me, when it comes to the question whether or not he should, I think Sonic not taking, like, Sonic letting his villains do more damage in the long run is a character flaw of his. But the thing is, if anybody thinks that you shouldn't write your characters with no, like, you should write your characters with no character flaws, they should make the correct decision in all situations. From point A to point B, doesn't understand good character writing. Like, there's a thing that's happened in the IDW comics a lot where characters have confronted Sonic on his outlook when it comes to villains and reform and challenged him on it constantly, and sometimes Sonic's not able to come up with a really satisfactory answer. Like, he'll come up with an answer that satisfies him, and that's the thing. His outlook on things is very insular. It's very, this is what I would do in somebody else's shoes.
Yeah,
This is
I'd
what I
like
would want them to do
to-
for me. I'm okay with that. It's a flaw of his, and I'm fine with him having fucking flaws.
if it came down to it,
well,
and-
yeah,
But that's not
Sorry.
the entire point, though. Like, that's not what people are ultimate. I think Trace and Emmy specifically, it's more the matter of how incredibly lenient he is. Like, not only letting Metal Sonic go, but bringing him back online and letting him loose. Like, that kind of shit.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
dumb. That was kind of dumb. Like, Metal Sonic, for starters, he's a robot.
well, that,
Well, no, like, I can
like,
justify that.
Robots
Well,
in the Sonic
yeah.
universe have sentience. It's not.
Yep.
It's not an argument.
It is.
but like,
No, well, no, I'm saying it's not an argument to say he's just a robot.
Oh,
I'm saying
okay.
Trey, I
they
think
have
you're,
sentience.
you're having
You're
some
roboting real
connectivity
hard.
issues, man.
am I?
You're cutting out real bad,
Sometimes, but like,
dude. Am I? But
I guess like I'll put down
Am
like
I good now? Am I good now?
yeah,
Good
you're
now.
good. You're good now.
Okay, cool. Hold on.
So I guess my
You go first.
okay. I guess my rule I would go by is I would like to see it tested to a point where like Sonic's almost in a position where there's no excuse not to kill a character, and his answer's just no, and he can't even give a reason anymore. He just refuses out of just that, and it's like
that's
when it boils down to it, he just refuses. Or you could have it to a point where he's so tested to the point where it's like, okay, Shadow, get over here. Like, you can do this your way. You can go to town on him. But I'm
I
not.
kind of feel like that was kind of the overall theme of a lot of what Ian's writing was. And again, like, I don't want to get too much into it because I spent like an hour and a half recording all of my thoughts about issue 50 yesterday. I can justify all of it, and I understand where he's coming from. Like I said much earlier on,
Mhm.
I feel like this Sonic that he's writing, no matter what kind of rendition was your favorite prior to this point, be it the adventure games, classic games, Sad AM, even Archie and Fleetway, I feel like any one of those versions of Sonic, you could see growing into this Sonic, because he thoroughly explains, like, yeah, man, I've done this plenty of times, and I'm not going to change who I am because intentionally evil people want me to. Like, I'm not going to stoop to that level. Like, that's literally the entire point of the Dark Sonic scene in Sonic X. Is like, I was pushed to that limit, and it was literally Eggman who brought him back. Like, I feel like this is that Sonic that's learned from shit like that.
Also, like, with
This is-
Batman, it's like, when he kills the Joker's won. Like,
I mean, yeah, but like, I don't know, man. Like,
Well, that's a different situation. I feel like that's different.
I mean, it's just a multi-layered, like more nuanced situation. I feel like some people want him to full on kill. I think other people like, well, no, just like the way he's handling these situations just feels out of character. And I kind of understand where everybody's coming from, but I feel like ultimately, as imperfect as it is, I feel like Ian does a pretty decent job justifying it, because like Sura says, and like I've said it in this video that's coming out. Yeah, I feel like the ultimate point is Sonic is not right. Like, even if he is this perfect hero seen by the world, there are those out there who will challenge that point of view, and ultimately he's not 100% right. Like, there's no black and white solution to some of these more complicated issues.
I mean, I do have a proposal in that all you would really need is like a story or an event of some kind where Sonic does go that extra step. Not so much in like a super graphic way, but he did lead to the demise of a character, and then Sonic regretted the outcome of that because that character did eventually turn good in some alternate future, and by taking them out earlier, then suddenly that person's not in that fight anymore, and it causes a lot of problems. All I'm saying is you do have a time-traveling hedgehog to bounce off of for a story like that.
Can we also just note they've actually got an opportunity to... They won't, but they've got an opportunity to do that with Movie Sonic, who's proven that he's not above manslaughter. Like, even
yeah, no, Movie Sonic will kill.
Even in Seattle, when he was just happily throwing bombs into garbage trucks in the sewers, like, he doesn't know who's there. Like, there could be people working in the sewers, or that guy in that garbage truck, he had no idea of knowing that bomb wouldn't destroy that truck.
I think at the end of both of Movie Sonic's, like, altercations with Eggman, he had no concern over whether Robotnik would live or die.
Like, he straight up sees him plummeting to what's not a survivable height for any human being, and he just looks, he's like, yeah, down you kill him.
That was direct. That was direct murder if that killed Eggman.
Yeah, he kicked it, you know?
I'll be honest, so that's kind of always been the case. I don't think Sonic's always really had... Like Eggman's a cockroach. Like, Eggman survives based on his own, like Eggman survives on his own. I don't know if there's ever been a time where Sonic is like sparing Eggman in hopes that he can turn good. Sonic just doesn't kill based on his own moral code, I guess you could say.
Yeah, he's just like, oopsie, I guess you died in that thing that I did.
I destroyed your entire fleet. I hope you turn good.
As long as it's not indirect, he's not. But like, Sonic will happily blow up the Eggmobile with him in it to the point where Eggman gets burnt to a crisp. But he's not. I hit the Eggmobile, not you, mate. So sorry.
I honestly still buy Tinker as a justification for his rule.
I just like don't even bother with my next video, guys, because like I brought that up too. Is like,
oh yeah, sorry.
Regardless of anything else in any other canon of Sonic, he is consistent in this story. The very first time you see Eggman is as Mr. Tinker, and now you have the constant personification of the very best he can be in Bell. Like, that will forever serve as the reminder of the good that he can be. And again, like, I sorry to bring up Sonic X, because I know it's a separate canon, especially now, but like, I feel like that scene is as powerful as it is, not because Sonic is about to lose it, is because it shows how deep the relationship between these old enemies actually is. How they truly understand each other. And I feel like more than anybody else, especially an older Sonic who's been doing this for a very long time, I think he understands that there's the potential for a better man in Eggman.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing, and this is where I wanted to go back to Surge, where it's like, I can see, where it's like I can understand Sonic trying to look for the good in people, but in every other instance where Sonic does feel empathy, they've shown to be good first. Same thing with like Mr. Tinker and whatnot, and even like Sonic saving Metal Sonic at the end of the OVA. I know it's a separate thing, but like, Metal Sonic saved the president, which showed Sonic like, oh, he has my personality. He can be good, which is why that scene happened. I feel like the interaction between Surge and Surge never really gave Sonic a reason that she would ever turn good.
She gave him every reason in the world. What on earth are you talking about?
What do you mean?
Like there's
Sonic
not a
sees
single
Surge as a
moment.
victim.
She can see.
Well, so are
I
the
think
Deadly
Sonic.
Six if we want to go that route.
No,
Like,
no,
I
no, no, no,
think-
no, 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 no. Let me no. No. I've been analyzing the shit out of the scene back and forth all week. I'm sorry, but like the very first thing she does as soon as they get alone, like she is just blaming him for everything. It is clear as day that this is a hurt, confused person who is just
Yeah.
lashing out. Like
That's-
Sonic, and he says it during this conversation. He's like, he has been here, he has done this with way too many people. She's not out here murdering anybody. Like they're in the middle of Eggman's city. Like they just showed up. Like, what the fuck is going on here? They're not trying to stop some world-ending device or anything like that.
right.
Like Sonic's experience shines through here, and I think they stayed consistent with that through that entire conversation. She has zero control over that fight. Like it looks like they're matching blows, but the moment he wants her to stop, he stops her every single time. And then you watch the desperation in her face as that fight keeps going. She never had a chance of winning against Sonic. Not once.
Yeah.
Surge is a victim, and the way that I read that entire fight, he saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it came across to me as well. Like Sonic sees a potentially dangerous person, but he doesn't know enough about this person to see anything other than someone who is a victim of circumstance. He doesn't know, because like during that fight, he doesn't get all the information about Starline's abuse, but he doesn't need all that information to see a person there that needs help. Because you got to remember, this is post Forces Sonic. He has seen people who have been recovering from Infinite's rampage for a long time now. He doesn't see anything else in Surge, as far as I'm concerned.
I mean,
He just
even
sees collateral damage running amok.
It's
Even
just
if-
fun for him too.
if we're just
the thing.
talking about like the games as a basis for canon as well, I mean, kind of starts with an Eggman robot that was supposed to destroy him, and he showed it mercy, and that robot ended up finding himself and freeing himself and his brothers.
You know, it'd be kind of cool. Like a No Way Home style story for Sonic. And I'm not talking about multiverse stuff. I'm talking about where he gets to a point where he's like, I am willingly going to kill this person. They've killed someone close to me. I will do it. And then at the last moment, when they have every opportunity, they're like, okay, no, I'm not going to kill him. You could even do the
they
multi.
have a stupid moment where they do a fake out. Dude gets stabbed in the back trying to stop him.
No, because
think this is
that gave
frustrating about-
allowance for like
About
that wasn't
here's
stupid.
the thing. I feel like, look at it this way. I feel like this Sonic is like the No Way Home version of Toby, where
Yeah.
we've had like an inconsistent like lead up to this point.
Oh
but,
my
like,
god.
I think we're well past the point of him like being there. I
No,
feel
but
like those
this is what they-
moments were like Sonic X or
But they can
other
explore
canon.
that story still outside of
Sure.
that content. Have
100%.
Sonic Movie 3, Tom gets killed by Robotnik, and Sonic's just like, I'm gonna fucking kill this guy. And then
Oh man.
video game Sonic just steps in and is like, you don't have to do that. And then classic Sonic just does a little dance and a little wink and a smile in the background. He's-
And then
he's
classic
flossing.
Sonic murders. Classic Sonic murders Eggman.
Classic Sonic just flosses in the background.
I mean, I feel like if they'd properly done Shadow, like what they're trying to do with him is like the evil or like the hardcore Sonic. They're just a little bit too on the nose and kind of sloppy with it. But like if he was a proper Dark Mirror character, I feel like that would ultimately serve that function. I know a lot of fans like that Shadow is kind of his own man at this point, but I feel like if you could strike that balance, like he is his own man, but also like this is Sonic with all those powers that isn't going to, beat around the bush. Like he
Right.
sees a problem, he solves it for good. I'm not going to waste my time with it.
That's a lot of how Shadow's been portrayed in IDW, where he's tried to do that, and the only person who can talk him out of it sometimes is Sonic going, I could have solved you for good.
I'm sorry,
Rouge.
Shadow in IDW is a guy that needs a carer. And I'm cool with that.
That's the thing.
I feel, as an
Like if they
ADHD fellow, I
pulled
feel
back a little bit
represented.
on that violent rate. I feel like if they pulled back a little bit on that act first, think later. I feel like if you just
Yeah.
switch the order of that, because Shadow has proven like he's a calculating son of a bitch. Like he's a smart dude, but he still can be a vicious dude. Like, yeah, he's pulled back a little bit, learning from Sonic and his pals, but at the end of the day, yeah, there's a problem.
I
I'm
fucking
going
love.
to solve it. I just won't throw a temper tantrum about it.
I love
Someone
IDW
made-
Shadow. He's just toilet brain. He's just not very clever. He's
Someone
easily
made-
distracted. He wants to do things his way. He accidentally fucks things up. And Rouge is his carer. There's no two
He
ways
is.
about it.
Some- Someone made an interesting take on Shadow's character in that scene of him just like impulsively going into the pile of metal virus victims and whatnot.
Yeah.
And since Shadow was built to be immune to diseases, Shadow thought that this was just another disease and that it wouldn't affect him.
That's kind of smart, to be honest. Like, yeah, like
It-
That's a smart way to look at it because I don't like that scene either, even after that explanation. Like,
I
that's
mean, he's a little arrogant.
I mean,
like they could have
I
written it a
feel
little
like-
bit better. But yeah.
I feel like
I
that
could've
really
written it back.
would be a way to excuse that if they utilize something that's been in comic books since their inception. Thought bubbles.
citations.
so,
Let us into his head for a second.
It's mostly just from Sonic's perspective is the thing, unless we're doing like a side story or
I
like
will
a.
say this though, like, yeah, to be fair, like, it's almost
I
you
guess,
don't-
but then don't
It-
don't
you almost
show
don't-
the
you
then
the
don't
thing is-
show Shadow getting infected without
No, but you
Sonic being there
almost-
to witness it.
you almost
in that
don't
case.
need to kind of. I mean, you do need to cite it because new audiences, SA2 is an old game, and Shadow's origins aren't all that known in the public consciousness.
even
now.
for people who play SA2.
That would be a really
However-
good way to educate readers on its
yeah,
existence.
like I
though.
was gonna say though, a large part of the whole point of Shadow, the reason for his birth and everything, was also we're gonna have to read super chats later. Like we might need to move into the next subject.
You're right. Yeah, we actually said we weren't going to be talking about his personality
Issue
here.
50,
And
yeah.
I remember
This
on
is like-
Twitter,
this is
I,
like
on
I
Twi-
literally called it because we were in it was me and Nick before I brought Emmy into the call, but I was like, oh yeah, can't wait to talk about issue 50, and Nick's like, well, slow down, we're not doing that, like we want to talk about more
he
positive
does this
things.
every time. He's an instigator. Like,
No, it was me.
Did I start that? I was going to say, did I start that conversation?
I think
No,
it was
I don't-
me.
but you did
It's-
anyway.
it- was Trey's fault.
I think I'm the only one in this call that had like at least a similar. Like I want to preface this. I don't think issue 50 is fucking bad, and I don't think Ian Flynn needs to be fired. Let me make that fucking clear. I think issue 50 is actually pretty fantastic, all things considered. It's just how I have and it's a preference thing. I understand that, but how I viewed Sonic and how he handles these types of situations didn't line up entirely with this. But I am glad that we have people like Nick who aren't just throwing out blanket statements like, oh, you want Sonic to be the Punisher, and shit like that, and actually explaining why this makes sense in context overall.
But we do want Sonic to be the Punisher.
And that was ultimately my point of that video was look, I can make sense of it in context. This is not my favorite version of Sonic's personality.
Exactly.
And even then, this is not a perfect story. I'm sorry, Wayne.
Oh no, you're good. My whole thing is my introduction to Sonic the Hedgehog was Sonic Adventure 1, the game with Gamma's story. From that perspective, the whole let them live so they can be better is just something that's always been there.
Oh yeah, same here.
Yeah.
I feel I feel like again, it's all in kind of execution in terms of how Sonic has handled these situations. Because I agree.
Yeah, fellas, if some of you only have an hour left, we definitely do need to get onto
It's
the
true.
music. Because I remember on Twitter, I was like, today's episode's all about the music. And
It's been a while since we've had Trey on, man. It's good to.
we
It's
love
been a
Trey.
minute, yeah.
We've actually stayed on point of Sonic for a change, guys. So
I know.
So
Well,
anyway,
when-
Klonoa.
When is it healthy
Yeah.
to take a break?
Hey, Klonoa's been fun as fuck. I've been playing that a lot recently, and it's super fucking
Oh
good.
yeah, I fucking love
Really
it.
good.
Music, guys, music.
Okay, so the music in Klonoa is really good.
Sonic.
Yes!
We are now
I was going to say this.
everybody's supersonic raving, but that's an exaggeration because not everybody.
Super
There's no
Sonic.
way. There's no way everybody could be supersonic racing. Are you kidding me?
So, I mean, do you think it's
Hypothetically.
Palladium? Is that how you pronounce that
I've been saying
boss's name?
Palladium.
Or Palladium? Yeah, maybe it's
That's
Palladium.
a
What do you
sick
think?
boss theme. That is the best boss theme in the game.
That's the best. That's the best theme in that entire game.
I would still say I think the best track in the game is Untamed Heart, but Palladium is a close second.
Mine
like I
is,
said this before.
mine is Vision 662, the closing encounter. That nothing has topped that for me.
It's intense.
Isn't that? Does anybody else get I mean, has everybody gotten to the last level of Klonoa? Klonoa 1?
Yeah.
I
Not
finished
not
it.
yet. No, I haven't.
I mean, Trey, let me know if you get the same vibes I did. But the first time I played Titanic Monarch,
Mm.
I was like, this is This is Klonoa.
It sounds a lot
Ooh.
like T. Lopes took inspiration from
Oh
the
shit!
final level music in
T-Lopes.
Klonoa.
It's
T-Lopes
one of my
was
favorite
asked-
moments in the game.
Yeah, T-Lopes asked like what soundtrack, what franchise would he love to work on that he hasn't yet, and his first answer was Klonoa.
So
I
I
love
think
that man
it's
so
it's
much.
gotta be. It's gotta be, surely.
Oh, for sure.
Right, so what
Anyway.
we were gonna do was we're all gonna go through our top 5 Sonic soundtracks and mention what our favorite tracks are.
Wait,
in-
our favorite soundtracks? I thought we were just doing our favorite tracks. Uh-oh.
No.
We did say in the chat that it was soundtracks, although I just went
Yeah.
ahead and wrote down both lists just so that
Like,
I
Pump,
have-
that sounds like a really big episode. We should have started that early.
I have all of my soundtracks and I have 4 tracks from every soundtrack.
Man, I wish we
I'm
planned
good.
this out. You know, I wish we.
That's gonna take like 2 hours, guys. Come on.
Yeah, I wrote down both lists. I wrote down top 5 favorite tracks and top 5 favorite soundtracks.
I haven't
So
even
if
given
we needed
any
to do
thought to my top 5 favorite tracks. I just did soundtrack.
How did you not predict that this loss of communication would happen?
Because
Pup?
I
Have
thought,
we been on the
Wayne,
same
I
podcast?
thought the virtue of clarity would finally shine
There
through.
was no virtue of clarity. I knew from the context of that conversation that not everyone was on
You
the same
could have
page.
stepped
because
in.
I-
You could have said something. You knew.
I pay attention to
Man,
my
we're the morning
coworkers.
hours
I know how you
passing.
people
I love how-
are.
Then
I love
why
how
didn't
both-
you help me?
There's
Why
just
can't
more
you
I
be
love how
my
both me and Wayne
co-manager?
did the
Going in.
exact same thing. We
because I
prepared
knew this
both.
would happen. I knew this exact thing
Okay,
would
okay,
happen.
Let's rapid fire it then.
Let's just do what we wrote down,
Off the
okay?
top of my head, I don't care.
Whatever the fuck you wrote down will work at this point.
Okay.
So, Pup, you go ahead. What's your favorite soundtracks?
Okay, so am I going to list all my top 5, or am I just going to do 5?
Just
Go
list
through-
our top 5.
Okay.
Go through the top 5.
Okay, my number 5th pick is the Sonic Unleashed soundtrack. Probably very predictable. You guys know how much I love that game, but I think
Based.
the best track on there is Cool Edge Night. I think the Night soundtrack so much better than it has any right to be, given that most of it's smothered in like
Yeah,
no.
it's great.
My 4th place pick is Team Sonic Racing, with the best track on there being Frozen Junkyard. That's pure Junsono stuff right there. Adventure era Sonic. I love it. 3rd place pick, Sonic Runners, with the best track being Fiery Passion for Desert Ruins. Again, I like when Otani breaks out the guitars and pianos. That's when he's at his best. 2nd best, Sonic Adventure 1, with the best track on there being Be Cool, Be Wild, and Be Groovy for Ice Cap. And in 1st place, Sonic Adventure 2, with the best track being On the Edge for Eternal Engine, just because the whole song's a freaking guitar solo.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a great list. Fuck yeah.
Alrighty then. Okay, Nick, you're up.
Well, I'm just gonna go off the top of my head now because I didn't know we had the soundtracks thing. This might not be in any particular order, but let's just go ahead and say number 5 is gonna be Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Which obviously, like, that's an obvious choice for me.
Origins version?
The only reason it's not higher up is partially, that actually, but also because there's not a whole lot of remixes. Like that makes or breaks some of the soundtracks for the old school stuff, because I feel like those melodies hold up super well.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I mean, I don't really like go back and listen to the old Genesis stuff a whole lot, but like the remixes for those songs, I will. And like Orchestrated Sky Sanctuary brought tears to my eyes during the Sonic Orchestra.
Have you heard the 3DS Generations version of Big Arm?
Oh yeah, dude.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
Oh,
say.
it's
Is
so
like,
fucking good.
I believe
love
it was Cash
it's an
Cash that
F's-
arranged that as
That
well.
sounds like an F-Zero track. It's awesome.
yeah, dude. Like that's the kind of love that I want from those. And like
Who would have thought that
Sonic Racing just sexed the hell out of Sandopolis.
Who would have thought that the boy band behind such hits as Party in Your Bedroom would bring us such a great rendition of Big Arms?
Oh my god.
That's
Let's cheat a little bit with 4. Let's do Sonic Generations. I know it's all just remixes, but they're all really, really good remixes.
Really good. Yeah, all of them.
I'm in agreement.
And this might go below Sonic 3 and Knuckles, just depends on the day. Let's do Sonic CD, both soundtracks.
Ooh, yes.
I like both of them. I grew up with the American one. I think they have a lot of good hits there. I think some of the Japanese ones are obnoxious, but other days they're really damn good. And there's never been a Metal Sonic track I've not loved. So
Mhm.
that's just really fucking good. Sonic Adventure, just overall, is just a phenomenal soundtrack. I think they captured the moods of all of those levels beautifully. And my personal favorite's probably the original Speed Highway. I mean, I like the Generations version, but I think the original one is just sexy as hell. And let's just go Sonic Mania. After that, T-Lopes, for God's sakes. That dude just knows how. I want more of his original tracks. I feel like those were the standouts of that soundtrack, and I want to hear more of that. I've been a fan of that dude ever since I first was trying to hunt down remasters and remakes of Sonic music, and he was the best, like by a country mile. And
yeah, you ain't kidding.
It's just incredible. Is that all 5? Did I do all 5?
I wasn't counting.
I don't think so. You did.
He did 4.
You did 4. You need one more, I think.
Okay, let's do one more. Let's see. We've done most of the classic stuff. Did Adventure. Guys might hate me for this. I really like Sonic Color soundtrack. I really do.
That's why
It's fantastic.
You know how I feel
Just
about
not,
that
just
game?
not the
I do
ultimate
too.
remixes.
I mean, some of them are. If
Not
June
the
touched
ultimate
it,
remixes.
they're incredible.
Like, yeah, the anything with fucking Jun was like masterclass on the fucking ultimate
That's
soundtrack.
true.
Terminal velocities, just creme de la creme.
So much better than the original. Holy shit. Yeah.
Fucking Jun showed him how it's done, man.
Jun Shun.
They should totally get that guy to do like the Sonic 3 tracks that they can't use.
I'm gonna vomit
That's what I was saying.
I love it when he vomits.
in my underwear.
All right, Trey, you're up.
See, you say that, but you didn't have to hold his hair at the con.
His green.
I didn't get my favorite
All right.
Sonic CD. Both versions of the Metal Sonic track. Both of them.
Yes.
Shit. Holy shit, the American and Japanese ones are so damn good. Anyway.
All right. I'm trying to figure out my number 2 slot. Let me see.
Well,
'Cause I know what my number 1 is.
I'll be your number 2 slut.
Don't say that to me.
I thought we
Don't
were
say that to
married.
Don't say that to me. Don't.
Aw.
Not here. Why are you saying that here? What the fuck? This is like freaking the sheets, dude.
Should we move on to the other boys for right now?
I was
My
favorite.
Yeah, move on. Yeah, move on for right now. Yeah.
I think Sonic C's got a great soundtrack. My favorite is Tidal Tempest Past.
It's so good. Past or present? Because I'm more
Past.
present.
I'm more past, but
I
present's
like
good too.
both versions of the present one.
Yeah, the present one just sounds like, God, that is the most atmospheric shit in the world.
Still
It's
feeling
so good.
Still feeling blue ball after what Trey just said. All right, Cirrus.
Whatever.
What do you mean whatever? Cirrus, just go ahead.
Sure thing. I think my 5th favorite soundtrack, and Nick is gonna get on my ass for half of these, I know, but it's fine. Sonic 06.
Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood.
No,
I mean, unless you're like
But-
Sonic Boom or something.
shove Faded Hills in your ass.
What's so bad about the
but-
Sonic Boom soundtrack?
It's generic
It's
as
nothing.
shit. It's nothing important.
Oh, you're talking about
Nobody-
Rise of Lyric. Oh, okay.
Okay, we're not doing
I will
this.
talk about the entire
the show
franchise.
too.
All of them.
The 3DS games had good music. If you say otherwise, you are just biased at that point.
I mean,
Tony
look,
Bias.
You are
I've got-
just
I've got, like,
biased.
Sonic. I got Sonic running mixes and none of the Boom
you are
tracks.
angry.
They're fine.
You are angry about a title at that point.
No, pup, you don't get to dictate my feelings.
You're
I'm
just
impartial.
defensive about a title because you like Rise of
Yeah.
Lyric for some
That-
stupid reason.
I'm talking about
Yeah.
the 3DS games, man.
Yeah,
As you-
we're
They're sound-
talking about
Yeah.
Rise of Lyric.
Their soundtracks
more-
are literally normal Sonic soundtracks. I do not get what people don't like about the 3DS soundtracks. They're the same as any Sonic music.
All right.
Anyways, sir.
Anywho, it's fucking hell. So I think Sonic 06 is my 5th slot. I love his world. I love Dreams of an Absolution. I like Aquatic Base Act 2 mostly. I like Radical Train. Like all that shit is my fucking jam. I don't care that the game's garbage. I love so many things that are in that game. There's so many pieces of that thing I want to be fucking better. After that, awkwardly, it's got to be the Sonic Forces soundtrack. Another
Ooh.
game that I fucking despise, but
You're
one
an
of
anime
my
cat girl. Of course you like the weeb ass music.
To be fair, I
Shut
did like it.
shut the fuck up.
Can I put that on my least favorite soundtracks?
So I love Infinite's theme, especially the non-lyrical versions that are in the boss fights.
I do too. Those
Yeah,
love them.
those are pretty sick.
Those are great. I
Um,
love his first fight the best. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
one.
The first fight with Infinite is what made me love that theme. Like when
Yeah.
I was hunting around for remixes for Infinite's theme, if they did not have that specific section of the song that is all the way throughout the first bout with Infinite, it turned me off to the remix immediately.
His Phase 3 music is not to be sneezed at either. Like, a lot of people kind of
All of it's
lament the loss of, like, orchestral versions of vocal themes, but we basically had that with Infinite Phase 3.
so my other ones that I like, and of course it's all going to be the vocal tracks. I'm sorry. I love Nowhere to Run from Park Avenue. I fucking love Fighting Onward from Spaceport. I get Fading World from Imperial Towers stuck in my head all the fucking time. I'll just start humming the first bars of that song. I think it's a lot of people don't like the soundtrack because there is some absolute garbage in it, but I think there's some really, really good stuff in there too. After that, it'd probably be the Shadow the Hedgehog soundtrack. I Am All of Me, Waking Up, the remix they do of the Eggman theme from Sonic Adventure 2, and especially Lost Impact. Lost Impact is such a fucking atmospheric track.
Yep.
It feels like you have gone into the past and you are watching something that has been abandoned and forgotten, and you are just remembering it. That track is really fucking good for that. After that, Sonic Adventure 1, favorite tracks from there: Open Your Heart, Gamma's theme, and honestly, Emerald Coast and Station Square. Something about those tracks, especially Station Square, it just feels like home. It feels like you're just they're comfortable tracks.
It's
They
it's
feel
definitely
nice.
like you get transport. Like for me, I get transported back to whenever I was like 6. Playing
You're
the
like
game
right
for the first
outside of the
time.
hotel. As soon as you hear it, you're right outside the hotel again. After that, my top track or my top soundtrack is Adventure 2. I think Adventure 2 has a better version of it. Doesn't matter. I love City Escape. I love Live and Learn. But also, I think one of my favorite themes from that entire track, it didn't used to be this way, but over time, Supporting Me, the theme of the Biolizard fight, has grown on me.
Ooh,
It's really good.
That's
Oh,
really
yeah.
good.
Especially the because like all of Shadow's music in that game is all just like the subtext of what's going on in his head. All of it, and I'm
love it.
here for every single fucking bit of it. The theme of White Jungle, the theme of the Biolizard fight, even Throw It All Away. I don't think Throw It All Away is a better theme for Shadow. I prefer things like I Am All of Me or All Hail Shadow going forward, but Throw It All Away is perfect for Adventure 2 Shadow specifically.
Yeah.
So those are my picks.
Nice.
All right. Wayne.
We're gonna go Wayne first and then me. Okay, cool.
All right, so first, I actually want to start. I want to start with a special shout out to one of my least favorite soundtracks, and that would be Sonic Forces. I think that soundtrack was created just to fuck with me because you know me, I really don't like the sensation of hearing people sing, and if there's lyrics in a song, I have about a 5% chance of actually tolerating it, let alone liking it.
Boy, we picked the right guests for today's episode, huh?
Yeah. Anyway, so number 5. These are not going to be very creative. I'm going to tell you that right now. Number 5 is actually going to be Shadow the Hedgehog. There's something about that soundtrack that's really grown on me over recent years, and Lethal Highway might be my favorite track from that one.
I like how two of us both fucking love Shadow.
It's a good soundtrack. I don't know, it vibes. Number 4. I didn't put this one too high just because only about half of it is original, but Sonic Mania. But I have to give it credit just because it's got some of my favorite versions of even its remix tracks. Favorite track from that might. It's hard to decide because I love Titanic Monarch. Again, it gives me those Klonoa vibes. I love Casinopolis, obviously. But favorite track from that might be Press Garden Act 2.
Oh man, yep.
You know, yeah.
I love that level and I love that track. Soundtrack number 3 is going to be Sonic 3 and Knuckles. It's got again a lot of just my favorite original Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And it's got some of my favorite music in the series. Favorite track from that's probably Angel Island Act 1 and 2 combined. Second favorite soundtrack, I'm sorry to have to pick one, but Japanese Sonic CD. And I think Modern Quartz Quadrant might be my favorite track from that. I really like that piece of music a lot. It's got
You mean
a
future?
level of... No, I mean present. I mean present
Oh,
Quartz
present.
Quadrant.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said modern, and I was like, oh, I assumed
Sorry. Yeah, present Quartz Quadrant. I love that track. It's God, it's got so much energy to it. It's so good. And then favorite soundtrack, surprising absolutely nobody, is Sonic Adventure 1. I think it's possibly the greatest compilation of music in the entire franchise. I think it's got so much variation to it. It's got so many different tones that it's able to hit. It's got like some of the homiest, coziest tracks I think I've ever heard in any game franchise. And between like Emerald Coast, Station Square, like Cirrus was saying, even between like Final Egg having like some of my favorite tracks in it and stuff like that. And then even getting me to like quite a few vocal themes in it somehow. Like even Unknown From Me, I've come to really like recently.
It's a good track.
I really love Sonic Adventure 1 soundtrack, but my favorite track from that OST has got to be Gamma's theme. There's nothing else like it.
Yeah.
Yes,
I think-
dude.
I've been trying to learn it, but it's very abstract because a lot of the grunt work of that track is built on textures like delay and chorus and modulation that kind of gives this unease, and it's very beautifully composed, but it's very hard to like recreate those tones if you don't have the gear that they had. But it's super fantastic. I love it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's me.
Troy
Nice.
Nobles.
Very nice.
Troy Nobles. I am I had this finished like in the middle of Cirrus's thing, so I am gonna end up inadvertently like repeating some of the stuff that they both said. I'll start with.
It's all about what you like, man. You know.
No, Trey, completely change your music.
Yeah, you
taste.
gotta.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm
sorry, if it's
yeah,
my favorite,
yeah.
it can't be your
I'm sorry.
favorite. You know?
I only listen to bands that no one knows about and only has 10 Spotify listeners, and I need the Undying Need to be unique. So
I mean, like you mock, I can see you doing that.
Also,
Shut the
SA1's
fuck up.
It Doesn't Matter. is better.
I do agree.
Shut the fuck up. That's my friends. It isn't me, I swear. All right, so number
They
5.
still literally brought a guitar to voice calls.
It's not here right now. All right. So
Top 5
that says
musics!
something. Anyways, top 5. Starting with number 5, Sonic Adventure 2. My favorite tracks on there are For True Story. The reason for that is because it is the theme of the fight against Sonic and Shadow at the very end. And
It's a banger.
that whole sequence leading up to that point, and then when the fight starts and you hear the drums like have like that 16 roll that just crescendos into this drum and bass just wall of sound. As Shadow says, like, I'll show you the true power of chaos control. That's one of the coolest fucking moments like I've ever experienced as like a gamer, past and present. Love that track. Second track that I love is Metal Harbor. It just sounds very nice and cheery, and I love how everything's mixed, and it's very catchy. Number 4 is Sonic 3 and Knuckles. My favorite tracks from there are Big Arms. I'm a big fan of the climactic battle themes, and it's just great. It just sounds so grandiose and epic, and even with like the FM synthesis chip only having 6 channels, it still sounds larger than life, which is very impressive. And another track I love from Sonic 3 Knuckles is Hydro City Zone Act 2. I love the upspeed and tempo and everything, and it's the same melody as before, but it just sounds more like urgent, and I love it. Love the groove of it, and it's fun to play. Number 3 is Sonic Mania. And my favorite tracks are Titanic Monarch. Love the kind of spatial type of like stereo field that T. Lopes takes advantage of in that track. Like if you put on headphones and listen to that track, you can kind of feel where certain soundscapes are moving and everything. It's very fucking cool. Am I still coming through, by the way? I don't know if I lost y'all.
Yeah, dude, you're
yeah,
fine.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
We're just listening.
I'm
to
being
you.
weirdly polite.
That's a good sign, man.
But yeah, Titanic Monarch T. Lopes takes huge advantage of like the stereo field and just like put on headphones and it's like you're inside a whirlwind of just like synths and delay oscillation and just chorus effects and all this stuff just circling around you. It's super fucking cool. And then another track I love from there is Press Garden Act 2, which Wayne already mentioned. Fantastic.
Attaboy.
The groove of it, I love Act 1, but I think the halftime groove that Press Garden Act 2 kind of presents is some of like it's just so, everything's so evenly mixed. It's just beautiful from a mixing standpoint, from a production standpoint, from a compositional standpoint. Instrumentation's on point. I never get bored listening to that track. Sonic CD, both soundtracks, but oddly enough, this is like my 2 picks are from the USA soundtrack. The Metal Sonic Boss Fight, USA, fucking phenomenal. Like, I know people rag on about the Japanese version of that track, which is also fucking phenomenal, but I love like the kind of higher, like kind of like the higher pitched like synth that the song starts off with the drum groove, and it kind of gives a sense of like we're starting up, and then as soon as the bass kicks in, we're now flying and racing, and I love that kind of like feeling. And then another track that I love from Sonic CD is Sonic Boom, but the ending version of Sonic Boom, where it's so good. I love the groove, love the acoustic guitar. Again, I'm very groove and drum centric when it comes to this because I am a drummer and a guitarist, and it just sounds so good. It already took like a pretty good theme, which was Sonic Boom from Sonic CD, and just made it more, I guess, like ending oriented. It's like, okay, this is like what you already know, but now it's like the adventure's done and it's relaxing, and I like that. And to no one's surprise, same with Wayne, my number 1 pick is Sonic Adventure, and these 2 tracks are definitely biased, but they're still here for a good reason. And it's Azure Blue World, which is the Emerald Coast theme, and Welcome to Station Square, which is the Station Square theme. And those were like the first tracks I ever heard as someone who just got into video games. Like Sonic Adventure was basically my first foray into video games. And Azure Blue World was like the first theme I ever heard playing Sonic for the first time ever. So like it always brings me back. But I also love like the sitar in the middle. It sounds very beachy, but it's not cliche. Like again, it has a great groove, has great melodic composition, and the textures that they kind of throw in here are very like unique. You would never think a sitar would sound good with like a beach track, in my opinion. Like that would never really fit, but it fits super fucking well. And then Welcome to Station Square is just catchy, so fun to play, feels like home. So yeah,
That's rad, man.
Hell yeah, brother.
I feel like I was rambling for a little bit.
No, you're good, dude. Like you're the music guy. Like, yeah, we want to hear your thoughts on music.
Yeah.
Did Sonic Adventure hit all of our lists?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Yeah.
So what we can take from this is that the most popular Sonic soundtrack is Sonic 4 Episode 2.
Yes.
100%. I really wanted to quickly, since we are an MU server, just kind of get our audience here involved a little bit. I did ask them like what their favorites were. So just real quick, I wanted to see what other people had here. Miles Workshop said that, yeah, he's all over the place, but I am all of me. Or they actually don't know what you define yourself as. It makes me feel more badass than I actually am. Coop said number 5 is Sonic Advance 3, 4 is Sonic Adventure 2, 3 is Sonic CD, Japan and US, 2 is Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I think you put the 1994 there. Just have to define it now, right? God, what a sad state we're in here.
Yeah.
And number 1 is Sonic Adventure.
That's a
Awesome list.
Solid list. Always nice to hear Coop's perspective.
Summer of Punk.
It's true. Oh shit.
Otherwise known as AJ.
Never say that again.
Oh hey. Get out of here.
I mean, you put it in there. I just
Never say the words you wrote.
You don't understand, Nick. You don't understand.
You know, Up was making a joke on behalf of Cooper's old series that he used to have. But anyways, keep going.
Sonic Riders Zero Gravity's number 5. Number 4 is Sonic and the Black Knight. 3 is Sonic 3 Knuckles. 2 is Sonic Heroes. And number 1 is Sonic Adventure. Another solid list. It's like Sonic's got some good music or something.
I know, right? What the fuck happened?
Super Shaddix Boom. Number 5, Sonic the Fighters. Number 4, Sonic and the Black Knight. Number 3, Sonic 3 and K. Oh, it's showing up a lot in the 3 lists here. 2 is Sonic Heroes. And number 1 is Sonic Rush. Also a solid list.
You know, an honorable mention I would say is like Sonic Rush Adventure. Like that is a great soundtrack.
That is a great
it is.
It's a great soundtrack, and it like Otani did a fucking phenomenal job. I guess like not emulating.
Right.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to say emulating because it is like a different workflow. Because Hideki Naganuma doesn't use samples; he takes sound bites and just places them into a DAW, and then just manually places them rather than using something like a sampler.
Hence why the final boss theme has a fucking Malcolm X speech getting like sampled.
Dude,
that's insane.
I've been meaning to cover Concept of Love from Jet Set Radio Future for a while, and I still will before I move. But like the entire like Concept of Love sample is from a Malcolm X speech, and it's very interesting.
Damn.
Yeah. So let's get through the rest of these guys because we are running out of time here. Alex, all 5 of them are Sonic Adventure. Philosopher 317. Number 1 is 06. 2 is Unleashed. 3 is SA1. 4 is SA2. And 5 is Black Knight. Duck. Number 5 is Sonic Underground theme song. Let me
just the theme song.
4 is Sonic 1. 3 is Sonic Generations. 2 is Mania. And 1 is Sonic the Fighters. One we haven't talked about a whole lot. British Gayotics Fan Studios. Number 5 is Sonic 06. 4 is Generations. 3 is CD, both Japanese and US soundtracks. 2 is S3K. 1 is the first adventure game. So yeah, that's a nice, healthy variety here, man. Like I really wish they
almost like Sonic's been known for good music, and that hasn't really been. We're starting to see some cracks in the seams recently with some of these
Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood. Now that's the soundtrack.
So let's get to super chats.
Well, let's get this.
Okay. All right. So heading over to the mailbag room.
All right.
Okay. So it begins with Sony, and you can probably guess what this is going to be along the lines of.
Oh my god.
Sony with $2 Canadian. Thank you, Sony. Battle with Zavok is peak Sonic music. Hashtag ready for Zeddy.
I mean, the Forces remix is pretty damn good.
The Forces remix sounds to me like Doritos and Mountain Dew if it were a song.
That's not entirely a bad thing, I wouldn't say.
No, but it's like the kid that eats the Mountain Dew and Doritos.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The song. Like,
I have a good
Otani, dubstep died a while back, and it died for a reason.
Yeah, man. Where do you think Buck Rock was when Sonic Adventure came out?
Yeah, fuck up, because that didn't die for a reason. That just died very sadly. Read for Jamal already.
It wasn't even called Butt Rock, called Post Crunch. Anyways.
Oh.
Sorry.
Music people. R. Paul Jamal with $5. Happy Beef Theory Friday. Milk Bro Forever. Wallace. Winky.
just Wallace.
That was all for you, Wayne.
Ooh, $5 of it, but you still got to share it.
God damn it. It's all mine, bitch.
I'll fucking kill
Aiden Aiden F. Thank you very much for the $20. Friday, more like Triday, for the 3 members of Sunset City: Nick, Cirrus, Pup, and Wayne, and Watney, and Wallace, Gilly, and Trey.
Team members 3 and Wallace.
We got Bolton with $2. Hashtag simp that Trey. Hi Trey.
Hi, Voten. It's good to see you.
All right, Trey, you're up.
Chris, can someone else pronounce that last name? Because I'm not going to be made fun of for another 6 months.
Lennox?
Is it Linux or Linux? Okay, it's Linux. Just want to make sure.
I mean,
Didn't want another delicate
not
situation.
Linux.
Linux.
He's not
Linux?
He's
Is
not
that
a
it?
computer.
Is that what it is?
He's not a fucking
I
operating
understand.
system,
That's
is
why
he?
I asked. Pop, that's why I asked first. This is the problem.
Read the goddamn super chat, husband!
He's not an annoying, pretentious PC user.
Yeah. All right. Chris with $4.99 says, "So glad to get to experience Klonoa. Very fun game. Seen him in game magazines in the late '90s. His character design always reminded me of Sonic." Yeah.
Hell yeah, it does remind of Sonic. It's a shame they changed it to the one that reminds me so much of Sonic when the old one was better. Damn it, the old one was better.
With the yellow eyes.
I like
Yeah.
Klonoa.
They did at least bring him back for the.
He should have grown older, and I like the new design.
He's a
I
dream
like
character. He doesn't
both
need
of
to
them.
age.
I like both
God.
of them.
They're both good.
Let's.
I like
But-
both of them. I like both of them.
All right, Pup, your turn.
These nuts.
It's my turn. Alright, so. Omega Mr. Salty sends $2.99 Aussie dollars. Thank you. And he's got nothing to say. He's straight up just giving.
Just
he is,
happy to give us
He's
money.
just happy to give, bro.
he's our yogurt
He
mail giving
just,
tree.
he just threw some change at us without making eye contact.
What a fucking
Yep.
Chad. What a fucking
What a
yogurt mail.
Chad.
There is a reason why we call them yogurt mailers.
Dazzle Fizzle with $5. Thank you. What do you guys think about people going after Matt McMuscles on Twitter for saying that Sonic shouldn't have a serious story?
We actually discussed this a little bit, didn't we?
I mean,
Yeah,
we
we did.
talked about more about the reaction more than anything else. I think Twitter's not the place to really kind of break down what's going on with anything here.
Right.
I think the overall point is like, and this was kind of a major contending point that if Emmy was here, she would argue the hell out of this, what I'm about to say. But like a lot of critics thought that Sonic was going a little bit too up its own ass with the Dark Age stuff, getting a little too serious and kind of devoid of any sort of comedy. So
I will say that like we're now so far removed from that, considering it's been like, you know, over 12 years since the last, I guess, like Dark Age game. So
What are you talking
think-
about? Sonic Forces
think,
came out in 2017.
oh yeah.
I
you're
think
right,
he
sorry.
made a cheeky joke about a franchise he's not known to be involved with, and people overreacted.
That said,
Yeah.
Matt McMuscles has done some excellent Sonic videos. Like when it comes
He
to like, his
does.
What Happens
But
series.
He's
a
great.
very-
He does great coverage.
He's a
Yeah.
very educated fella. What his tweet kind of came off as is quite a casual viewpoint, a viewpoint that's very much outside the Sonic bubble, and I think there's probably a lot of people reading too far into it. A lot of people are probably, when they say it doesn't need to be a serious story, they're probably seeing, yes, more Pontac and Graph. Like you can do comedic Sonic well. Like
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Like
Adventure Sonic the
I think-
Hedgehog did it. Sonic Boom did it, but no one ever wants to admit that did anything good. And like, you know, you can do comedic Sonic well. But like I would say there's a middle
yeah.
ground. It should be an action adventure thing. It doesn't need to be as fucking pretentious as like Sonic 06 and Shadow the Hedgehog are. And I like those stories, but like full transparency, they're fucking pretentious.
yeah,
No, they are.
For me, it was the way the tweet was kind of framed. It's just like, oh, this concept is stupid, therefore it shouldn't be allowed to have a deeper story. And I'm like, you could say that about most of anything that isn't adult centric. Like, let's be for real. Like,
So all I saw was somebody with a casual viewpoint on a franchise who doesn't really have a reason to take it seriously, not taking it seriously, and then the Sonic community coming in and proving he shouldn't take us seriously either.
I'll put
Yep.
I will play devil's advocate though, because I think it was a dumb fucking take. I do think it was kind of just a
That
I
pretty
thought it was a perfectly normal
I thought it was
general
a
viewpoint.
dumb tweet.
I think that was I
It got-
think it was a normal way for someone to look at it if you're not as obsessed with the series as we are.
Even so, I do think that, like, people that don't necessarily have that appreciation, or people that, I guess, aren't too invested by it, saying this is what it should be. It's like, why are you necessarily trying to dictate what it should be? And the thing is, he probably wasn't doing that, but at the end of the day, it's Twitter, people are going to read in and stuff. I think the backlash is disproportionate to the comment.
Oh, absolutely.
I still think the comment's kind of dumb. That's just where I'm at. I'm not going to simp for everybody that has something negative to say about Sonic just because I'm tired of Sonic fans shilling.
As I'm just kind of going off of, I'm assuming that his only intake on the franchise has mostly been the games and then the people who play them, and especially in recent years, off of those, there's no reason for him to expect that there would be a well-told story with these characters in a deeper fashion, or that he could trust Sega to pull that off. He probably doesn't know Ian Flynn's history with the characters. He probably doesn't understand, like, you know, some of the... That's my thing, is I think people are just being stupid about this.
It's nothing like... to lose sleep over. It's a tweet.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I don't even see why it needs to be any conversation longer than a few seconds. Like, that's as far as I see it. Again, I'm not simping for shills, and I'm not simping for people that want to shit on it either. I don't give a fuck. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I think it's up to Sega to prove them wrong.
Yeah, that's my only thing, is that we've consumed a lot of media that has held up Sonic to a higher standard than the games have as of late. And if you're not taking that stuff in, there's no reason to expect better.
The question is, would you qualify like the Sonic 2 movie as a serious story? Because a lot of people probably wouldn't. It's a comedy.
I think it's an okay story.
It's an okay story.
I'm not asking
I'm
not asking if you like it. I'm asking, is it a serious story?
I think it's a kids movie story with serious moments. It's not a serious story.
A lot of people would definitely say it's of a higher standard than what the games deliver. Like, I think
over the past 10 years, I can agree.
I can agree with that for the majority of it. Yeah.
I also don't know that Matt McMuscles is the kind of person who would go out and see the Sonic movie.
I don't know. We're talking about a person I've never fucking spoken to. Like, get him on the show if we really want to talk about it, as far as I'm concerned.
I would love to get him on the show.
He's an intelligent guy. I'd love to talk to him. But like,
yeah, he's super cool.
But that's the thing is, right now, I think it's
Sonic with him. I talk about everything else.
It's futile discussing his tweet because we don't have him here to talk about it. You know,
he's like one of the but he is like one of the few people I would actually respect as someone I could refer to as a game journalist.
Oh, yeah, the dude does some work.
Dude does research. Like it's almost like
I love his
like
What Happened series, and I love
him and
Spider-Man
do great coverage, like on like either obscure topics or games.
And now we can call Cole Golden Bolt a friend, man. Like, man, that was so much fun hanging out with him. We gotta get Pup and Trey to one of these conventions. Meet these people.
I'm going next year. That's guaranteed.
Well, I'll be. We now know I'll be at Sonic Revolution, and I'll be at Portland. So
yes,
we got stuff going on.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely be
too there, buddy. That's in.
Yeah.
Was that November?
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
it's in November.
I think 11th is Fan Jam. I have to.
It's September 11th and November 11th.
I think so. Yeah.
They like their 11s.
Let's carry on. Yeah, we've been on too long.
The next one is from Go Kenji. Thank you for the 5. I still don't know what CHF is, and it's fine. I will never know.
Something francs, Chinese francs, I think.
No, okay.
I really hope the Sega Sapporo studio will do their job on Frontiers and do quality control, not like Colors Ultimate and Origins. I, too, am hoping for a not rushed out the door thing from Sega of anything when it comes to Sonic. I would like some type of genuine care.
At the same time, I wouldn't expect it to take 5 fucking years to make a game. Like, for Sonic, anyways, that is. Like,
I don't think they've been working on this for 5 years.
I don't think they have either, and I think there's no excuse for that. You get one out, get another one in.
I think them not knowing what their next project is going to be when they're so close to releasing this project.
But again, they're just a little indie studio. You're asking too much.
They did
shows
a rapid fire. Azuka said he knew what was next. I don't give a shit what's next. Let's see what this one is. Be finished.
No,
Be good.
my point there is though, like with most studios, when they're working on a game, as they're doing the last stuff on the game, they tend to take some people away from the project to start work on the next one.
Right, yeah.
As they're in the middle too.
Yeah,
as they're in the middle.
The bottom
main
line
crux
is
of it.
the bottom line is if they delay it for quality reasons, it's still not a victory. Like Sonic Origins thing. Oh yeah, it should have been delayed to get it good. It should have been started on sooner. You had these things laying around for fucking 9 years.
Yeah.
Well, shoulda, woulda, coulda on that front.
Like, that's the thing, is I could almost understand. It's like, oh, but we're figuring out what to do with the Sonic 3 soundtrack. No, you just had that game in fucking purgatory for 11 years for no reason.
Like, I feel like the Sonic 3 soundtrack thing, that should have been decided before development, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, you've got to kind of have that stuff already, because you don't want, like, here's the thing, if you're hoping for, like, but let's say if June Snow was only given like a month because like Sega was like, well, fuck, we can't get the soundtrack, then I can see why it sounds that way, but I don't think that's what happened. Like, I think they have to have that stuff lined up first, and
yeah, they just should have started the thing sooner.
I refuse to believe that Sega is not always thinking about some kind of a compilation at some point when it comes to the classic games.
Free money.
Yeah.
I mean,
they should think about compilations on their handheld stuff. That'd be fucking amazing.
Right,
Please.
who's up for Mr. Krabs?
It's me. So we got Mr. Krabs here with $1.99. I want a Sonic and Ratchet and Clank crossover now.
You have it. It's called Rise of Lyric.
I want a Sonic game produced by Insomniac. That's what I want.
That'd be sick.
Yeah. Oh, then maybe actually some of the comedic writing would be funny.
Make it more like Sunset Overdrive.
Controversial would be a lot of fun, especially that rail grinding, since they both do it so well these days.
Hell yeah. Sunset Overdrive with a Sonic coat of paint? Hell yeah, I'd take it.
I'd be fine with that. Just make character faster, and I'll be good.
I mean, for real, like you get the quality control of Sunset Overdrive and Spider-Man. I mean, those are two separate teams, but they're still Insomniac teams.
Yeah,
holy shit,
they got the cream of the crop working for them.
And Spider-Man was built off of Sunset Overdrive's architecture.
Yep. Like, I mean, no, they've not worked on a Sonic game before, but like that's the type of studio that was like
they've proven they could.
We'll figure it out.
They've got the groundwork down. They just need to make the
they're just like quality enough like developers. Like even if they've never worked on a thing before, whatever they produce is going to be of incredible.
Oh, they
talent.
never worked on Spider-Man, but they fucking knocked it out of the park.
They knocked it out of the damn park.
Okay, so
shit was amazing. Anyways,
but also Ratchet would be cool to see in a game with Sonic 2, I guess. Which is the original point.
You've got Way Past Cool Kid.
Okay, Way Past Cool Kid with $1.99. Who's the tosser with the guitar? Hi boys, ooh woo heart.
What the fuck did you say?
It's me. That'll be $50, sirs. It's me. I'm the dude with the guitar.
He's the canonical ooh wooer now.
Yeah, that's it. I guess. Please don't make me that. Don't make me that. Fucking. Anyways, but yeah, that's me. I do my own music, as well as work with Emmy Jones, and as well as do compositional work for
for the end of the show.
Some indie games and just performer, musician.
She probably knows. She's a long time
rising
viewer.
star. I don't know what the fuck.
This is Way Past Cool Kid. She
me.
knows who you are, Trey. Jesus Christ.
My husband.
We will pimp you later.
Okay, so
Trey's just like, none of these guys are jerking me off, so I got to do it myself.
Putting together his game profile on our time, I swear to God.
I like long walks on the beach. I like
oh, sweet! Now he's also working on his Tinder profile.
Okay,
too.
so my friend Marshall143 sends 25 DRAMs. Says, imagine villains with dumb names like Shredder and Dr. Octopus having interesting and grounded stories. So stupid, am I right? I love Matt, but my god. Again,
I mean, they're at their best for me when they're silly motherfuckers.
A fair retort.
They started off in silly plain.
It's a fair retort. It's a fair point. If we're bringing the name into the equation, I mean, again, he can be called Dr. Robotnik. I don't care too much about it. I really don't care, but that is a fair counterpoint. Like,
it just kind of go back to my point though. That as somebody who has never really taken in TMNT content, other than on a very casual level, I've never once been led to believe that Shredder has any kind of serious backstory outside of being a goofy villain. I don't think that Matt McMuscles has any reason to assume anything other than that for Dr. Eggman, so...
I think he pays enough attention to the gaming world that he has seen.
Oh, let's just ask him. Let's just fucking get him in here. There's no use trying to speak on his behalf.
I don't think Matt's ever going to want to be like a Sonic podcast. No, thank you.
At this point, fuck it. Like, okay, Nick, you're up with Mr. Noodler.
Mr. Noodler 02 with $4.99. Thank you. You guys watch Bikuri Box 16? I'd love to see him invited on the show as a guest. I'll be honest, I've never heard of them.
I can't say I have either, which is
Same.
a shame. YouTube's
I
algorithm
haven't
clearly
either.
isn't recommending him to me.
There's a lot of wonderful people out there I still have not the pleasure of engaging with yet, so I'll add that to the list because if they're cool, why the heck not?
Bikuri Box. Let's have a quick look. I'm not gonna like watch anything because the sound will come up on here, but let's just have a little look at what he does. Oh, okay.
That said, the next one we have is from Mr. Krabs. Thank you very much for the $4.99. Oh god, the story's begun again. Vanilla drops off Wayne and Vector at the park. Vanilla, all right, you two, I'll be back in an hours while I play my music. She play her metal music. Okay.
Always a pleasure,
what is-
Mr. Krabs.
What is this?
It's a lore dump. Mr. Krabs has basically written a continuity, a story all about Wallace here getting into a cuckold marriage with Vanilla and Vector. Also, Bikuri Box 16 did a fantastic video on Sonic Origins. Now I know who he is. He did a video on, like, Sonic Origins is not finished. It's a great video. So yeah, I'd be game to chat with him.
Yeah, that is a fantastic. Like that's made me like rethink. Like, should I even put an Origins video out? Because he said anything I've wanted to say, and in a very succinct fashion. It's a very good video.
Hell yeah, I'd be game to game
Yeah.
on. Like,
Yes, absolutely.
I'm still deeply confused by this Vanilla Vector thing. I don't think I've ever
Y'all have made it, man.
expressed
Mr.
any
Krabs
interest.
us to read his fanfic.
yeah,
That's
Mr.
the thing.
Krabs, I
That's
don't
what's
think...
happening.
Yeah, but that's the thing is that I've expressed interest in certain characters.
No,
I don't think
but,
I've ever
Mr.
expressed
Krabs
any interest in
knows.
Vector or Vanilla.
Mr. Krabs knows. I've told Mr. Krabs various times that Wayne is into Tangle. And he said that this is leading into an arc. Just be patient. Okay?
Well, I mean, the thing is, Wayne, like, how many redheads do you have in the Sonic universe?
Well, I'm also not into the Sonic characters
just
like that.
fuck
'cause
Sonic characters like the rest of us.
guess
Get on
she's
with
like-
it. You gotta
guess
do what
she's
you gotta
over
do.
that.
There is technically one very important one who's always portrayed with some type of
off,
reddish
Cyrus.
hair.
Fuck off.
There is Sally Acorn.
There's also Princess Elise.
Oh, I was thinking of Princess.
But that
Yeah,
shit's
there's Elise too.
But that's vanilla.
No,
like you go to the Sonic universe and you're gonna
No,
fuck
it's
humans.
not because
really?
I actually
Like,
did think Princess Elise was.
I went like I need to guys. I just need to say like I just typed into Google image search just because I couldn't remember what Vanilla's hair looked like if she had hair at all. So I just typed in Vanilla the Rabbit. It is so unbelievably horny with the most basic search. Vanilla the Rabbit.
Vanilla.
I just don't get it.
I-
I just don't get it, man.
Don't
It's-
you?
it's
well,
the-
but
it's-
Wayne, don't
it's
you
the
want to?
mommy vibes.
Don't you want to cream that rabbit?
I just love
No, man.
Pup, I just love your like notion where it's just like you're gonna go to the Sonic universe and fuck humans. The fuck's wrong with you?
It's like going to a barbecue buffet and asking for the vegan options. Like, what you do?
Yeah. Wait, do you have chicken tenders?
I don't even care if you're a vegan. Fuck off, loser. Eat the meat.
We're going to a sushi place and you order a burger. Come on.
I mean, I
You know what?
do
Fucking
enjoy. I am quite partial to a burger.
You know, it's frustrating because I think there have only ever been 2 Sonic characters that I have ever actually was like, oh yeah, but them though,
I'd tap that.
and that was Princess Elise and
You're so boring.
the genie,
You're so
girl.
fucking
Oh, Shara?
boring.
Shara,
You're
she's-
so
yeah.
boring.
At least get the
Oh, sorry.
ghost. You know.
But there's
Yeah,
nothing
up a little bit.
attractive
Yeah,
to me
who
about
doesn't want to fuck a dead
animal
shit?
characters.
Come on. Oh Jesus
I-
Christ! I'm not gonna say that ever again.
I'm gonna be honest. Like if we're having to go by like, I would say like Merlina as well. But then again, I remember she's got like a very shit personality.
Okay, so here's
Oh,
here's
I mean,
the
that
thing: is
personality
Wayne,
already,
have you not stated that you want to fuck Tangle?
As a joke, sure.
No, not
but,
as a
like,
joke.
I'm actually.
Own it.
No,
Don't be a
yes,
coward.
you're right,
Don't
Wayne.
be
We're
a
all
pussy.
incredibly super serious right now.
I am really
I'm-
glad.
I'm serious.
I'm really glad Emmy's night.
I would fuck that.
I am really glad now because
Happy birthday, Emmy, or whatever we're doing. Here.
Happy birthday! Happy 70K.
Hashtag clap
Happy
that
70th
bat.
birthday, Emmy.
Nope.
Happy
Yeah.
70th.
By the way,
Happy
sorry, I
70,000th
need to
birthday.
I need to insert a quick sponsor in here. This video is sponsored by the motion to get sticks back in the Sonic universe. Remember, put your tweets out with the hashtag dicks out
No!
sticks. We will get her
We are
back.
not doing that for Sonic the Hedgehog Alex Jones, okay?
Oh yay, Styx, the stupid Deadpool character whose entire gag is that she's self-aware.
She's
Haha,
not. No,
funny.
that's not her. Her entire gag is that she's Alex Jones.
She's a conspiracy theorist. She's literally just Alex Jones in the Sonic universe.
Yeah,
That's her
like
whole shtick.
again, Wayne. Tell me you haven't watched
That's
Sonic
not
Boom
much.
without
That's
telling
not
me you
much
haven't
better.
watched Sonic.
Sonic Boom
not better.
isn't as funny as everybody says
No,
it
this
is.
is
It's
the
an
thing that
annoying
pisses
cartoon.
me off
Fuck
about
all of you.
Sonic Boom is the amount of people that haven't played Sonic Boom or watched Sonic Boom commenting on Sonic Boom. Stop fucking commenting on it. Actually play it. Watch
Is
it.
it possible that maybe I did and I just didn't find the cast that memorable?
Well, I don't think you did. No, so shut up.
Well,
One
you're
episode doesn't
wrong.
count.
You know what? I'm
Whose
just
turn is it?
imagining that Pup is like King Gatekeeper here.
What?
I
No, I'm
don't-
literally the one saying that people that like Boom are valid. Anyways,
Oh God, look at you done. Look at you done.
is he playing the chase music from SpongeBob?
Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Krabs, I'm here to get the formula.
Anyways,
I mean, that would be a great backing track for the two of them arguing.
it would. I might make it myself. Just record this section and do it myself. That'd be amazing.
We have not carried on from Mr. Krabs this entire
No, we haven't.
time.
And Mr. Krabs gave money. That seems counterintuitive. Like, why would
No,
Mr.
we
Krabs give
did. We
money?
had she play metal
There-
music. We finished Mr. Krabs.
Yeah, there's more stuff in between. There's lots of stuff.
No,
in
but
between.
we've got the other character that Nick and Trey need to say the name of.
The evil Delk.
No. It's the evil look. There we go.
The evil.
The evil Dale K.
the evil Dale.
Wait, whose super chat is this? Who's gonna read this?
Who was
You said
last?
it, Dale K. Say my name, Nick and Trey. I dare you. Do it.
Do it.
You dared.
Yeah.
And we just hydrositied your ass.
Thank
Yeah,
you for
that's
the
true.
£1.79, evil Dalek. Who's
Dalek.
got infamous?
I don't know. Is it my turn? Did you do?
I guess it's
I
me.
guess-
I don't fucking know.
Sir, it's just read for infamous.jpg, okay?
Sure, I will do so. Infamous.jpg. PNG is better. What the fuck are you doing? Anyway, thank you for the $19.99. I finally caught up with all the episodes, and I want to thank you all for such a great time.
Chicken.
Chicken emoji. Also, hello, new person.
Also,
Hey.
Cyrus, how are you gonna dunk on JPEG when WebP exists?
How are you gonna
fuck
say you listen to all of our
WebP.
episodes and call Trey a new person?
Choose your goddamn enemies, man. JPEG's
No.
not
Been here
the
for like a
enemy.
year and a half.
WebP can fuck itself. I hate WebP. I
Oh,
hate
WebP. Here's the thing. WebP can die in a fire, but I sincerely hope that as it's drowning in lava, JPEG drags it further.
Whoever
What a boring
invented...
thing to be passionate about.
I'm sorry, but whoever
What
invented...
a terribly sad
No,
thing
no,
to
no,
be
no,
passionate
Nick.
This
about.
As-
grain of rice
Nick,
is better than
Nick,
this one.
As
I swear
a
to God.
content
There's
creator...
more DNA in a grain of rice than a human
Nick.
being.
As a content creator, you owe it to yourself and to your whole community to hate WebP files. They're garbage. Whoever invented them is literally Hitler. There's no two ways about it.
I mean, they
Garbage.
suck, but like
Trash.
if you have an up to date like editing
No,
software,
no,
functions
no.
just fine.
Adobe doesn't like them. Full stop. I mean, Adobe's shit as well. But like, no, WebPs and Adobe, you can both fuck yourselves. All right. Anyway.
I mean, that's like the one positive thing I'll say about Vegas because it sucks ass, but it takes the web files without too much issue.
Big ass.
Little Wallace, you're up with Benny Boy
Veg
Blue.
ass.
Veg ass, my bad.
Let's
Sorry.
see, which one are we on?
Benny Boy Blue. Just said. Do you want me to put the burger next to it?
I'll kill you.
There's a burger.
There's the
Burger.
We got Benny Boy Blue with $20. Hello from Australia. What do you guys think of the idea of Chaos controlling the Chaos Emeralds into the Super Emeralds? Obviously, you'd need a lot of Chaos energy for it, but it could be a cool way to bring Hypersonic back.
So first things first, Australia doesn't fucking exist, so stop lying.
Fair. Base.
I would love Hyper Chaos or whatever to be. I would love it if they went full Frieza with him. Like instead of
would
being a
be
giant
sick.
crazy monster, he looks something more akin to Chaos Zero, but like a little bit more intimidating and powerful.
So like the
That's
one
what
that
I
was
would
in
be
Lego
like-
Sonic Dimensions. He was
That would be cool.
a big Chaos Zero, and he could turn
Chaos-
red. He could turn into a fire thing as well in that one.
Ooh,
He could do all the elements. It was sick.
there's a
It
lot of.
looked like one of those fountains in Vegas with all of the colored lights.
Oh my god, we should go and punch that fountain.
Sure, pup.
We're saving the world.
Whose turn is it?
That would be Trey's.
Wait, which
Trey,
one are we
you're-
at?
there's the one beneath the burger. It's my friend
But meet the
Marshall.
burger. Okay. All right. Marshall 143 with AED 25.
D-Rams.
Okay.
The
I'll take your
dedicated
word.
wham.
Yeah.
Dedicated white.
Dental
American Express
Dollars.
donuts. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
dollars. IDW Shadow is awful, man. You can make him arrogant and full of himself, fine, but why is he so unlikable? So tired of this, man. Give me World's Finest out.
I half agree. I
Half
only
agree.
half agree. I half agree in that I do want Shadow to just be Batman to Sonic Superman, but I also like IDW Shadow because as someone with ADHD, I feel represented whenever he's in there.
I think I would. I feel like he hasn't really been much of a character in IDW. He's been more
No.
of just a guy that's present that we recognize, but it's like he's more of a plot device than anything.
Yeah, I would like to see them because like everybody else has gotten some decent. That's actually not true. Thinking about this just out loud right now, a nice thing that Archie has done, and they have the time to do it, is they got a lot more time to focus on the characters and their own stories, especially when Sonic Universe became a thing. So we've seen Ian write Shadow well there, and part of that might just be the direction Sega wants to take Shadow. But all the same, even if this is like who he's supposed to be now, I would like a story kind of from his perspective for a change.
I
'Cause,
mean,
yeah,
I
you're right,
personally
that's
think
fair.
Shadow needs a lot more stories, full stop. He needs... I would like nothing more than for them to take another stab at making a Shadow game.
Considering that he's one of the characters who has an outside motivation that can always push him into doing things, because he's literally employed by Gunn, it would be very easy to make any number of good stories with
See, that
him.
I'm still not fond of. I don't like Shadow being employed.
I don't either.
I'm
Employed.
okay with it. I'm okay with it being Gunn. One, because of his relationship with Rouge. Two, it feels like him coming to terms with all the shit that he went through beforehand.
Yeah, I feel
Oh,
like it's
so
enough for
weird.
him to just accept
I-
that Rouge works for them without him getting a job there too.
I'm also kind of fine with him working for Gunn. I just personally like to kind of pretend that the story of Shadow the Hedgehog doesn't really happen.
Yeah, I want to agree with that too. Like, I would say, like,
Yeah.
make it a soft reboot. So, like, you could
No.
begin it with, like, a narration. It's like, I was born
Just-
on the space colony arc, and then just leave it at that.
I don't think I don't think there was a good point in the narrative of that game. I think it was all dumb. I think it all
Yep.
undermined
Oh my god,
Shadow
me
as
and
a
Wayne
character.
agreeing? How the fuck did this happen?
Wayne,
So,
you and I
yeah.
need to have a conversation.
Shadow being
about
employed
that.
in this economy.
Yeah,
Look,
I
Shadow
don't-
is look, Shadow's employed, just not by... He doesn't have a high-paying job, okay? He works for Burger King.
Burger King.
Yeah.
And there's no
He
shame
needs to
in
have a
it.
job in this economy.
Do we just get
Up.
Devil as a part-timer, but with Shadow the Hedgehog? Is
Look,
that what
I
we're
just
getting?
want Shadow to be me, okay?
It's a game that wanted its cake and tried to eat it too, and I think it having a final story arc that could only be accessed by doing like 10 different storylines that don't even
Yeah,
they're
garbage,
not compatible
terrible.
with each other.
Even
It's
then, the
bad.
story fucking sucks. And also just like
The-
choose your own
yeah.
path, but this is the one that's canon.
The origin of Shadow is worse than the one that was presented in Sonic Adventure 2.
Way worse.
The like his motivations, him as a character, it's all bad. Like I don't see any redeeming qualities in that game's narrative.
Also, the
in
reality
the game,
of the situation.
sure,
the
but
rea-
like not in the story.
the reality of the situation is, if you're getting Shadow right, his best story will always be his first story. And I know that, like, that part of the reason why Nick has kind of protested to my idea of making him Batfleck is because he kind of feels like once you do that, Shadow's kind of time is up in a way. But I feel like that's kind of how it should be. I mean, to be honest, I just think the guy should have fucking stayed dead in
I think you
SA2.
can.
Well,
I
boy,
think you
it's
can tell
almost like
a
there's a
good
series
story.
I'm working on about that. or
He's one of
something.
my plug yourself later, sirs. He's one of my all-time favorite Sonic characters, and I'm fine with him being dead.
I love him, and I'm glad he's back. I just think you could do a better job with telling his story. And even here's the thing I've had to learn as an old man in the Sonic community is there's always going to be new shit that I don't really like. Well, like I've said it before, space aids and presidents and all the silly shit that was brought into SA2, probably not the way I would have gone about it as a fan of the classic games growing up, but I've accepted them for what they are. And even then, I think with a clever enough writer, you can spin that into gold. Like Shadow specifically, like you could re-represent that as just, like he has amnesia, he's not sure who he is, like that's the entire theme. And there's a clever narrative in the sense of like this is a broken character and you can go so many different ways depending on the decisions you make in your life, blah 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 blah. And the RG series did a pretty good job taking elements from that game and making a really badass rival character for Shadow in that series. So I think you could take elements away from that and do something good, because at this point I don't think it really helps anybody to decanonize anything like I keep wanting to do. I say canonize everything in its own way, be it Fleetway or Archie or any of that stuff. I think you could merge it all together with clever enough writing.
I agree with that to a degree. Like I made the crack about like pretending Shadow's story doesn't exist. I think part of the reason I kind of act like that is just because whether you do or you don't, nothing really changes.
I'm with Wayne. I mean,
That's the side story, yeah.
I'm with past Wayne. I'm not gonna reverse on that like little coward Wayne here.
Well, no. What I'm saying is that it's like what outside of like actually no, even in Sonic 06, it doesn't really feel like it's informed by anything that happened in that game. What does the story of Shadow the Hedgehog change?
There's only one.
What
good...
relevance does it have?
It's like the Peter Blood thing in Amazing Spider-Man 2. It just cheapens what came before, but it doesn't change anything going forward.
So the only thing that the Shadow the Hedgehog story changes when it comes to things going forward are just Shadow specifically resolving his issues with Gun. Very specifically Gun.
I'm
like
okay
he
with
resolved
that. It's
his
the Black Doom stuff I don't like.
Like
well,
he resolved his issues with humanity in Adventure 2, but Shadow was mostly about him resolving his issues with Gun.
Wasn't that also wasn't all of him like joining Gun and everything also in a game that was originally meant to be outside of every other canon and was basically rewriting itself, so it's not actually informed by what came before? So
I mean, guys, I kind of feel like they did a pretty decent job. I mean, like, I know nobody likes that game. I'm certainly not a big fan of that game, but like, they did kind of resolve everything they did with Sonic Heroes. I mean, they brought him back, and yes, they created new problems in terms of like he has amnesia now. And so, Shadow the Hedgehog is mostly just getting him back to square one. But that game still does resolve, like,
it resolves the
clone
arc. Yeah,
again, these are problems that are brought in by Sonic Heroes. When they simply could have been like, oh no, Eggman found him
Is it okay?
and he's back. They brought in the clone thing in Sonic Heroes.
Is it okay for me to just say everything they did with Shadow after Sonic Adventure 2 was a really lame direction to take his story? And that
I don't mind his 06 story.
There's plenty
honestly,
of...
his 06 story
oh my
is the
god, I will one day
main
finish.
redeeming thing about that.
There's plenty of other directions they could have taken him that are drastically different and a million times better than what we ended up with, is what I'm trying to go for here.
I get that.
I can understand that. I think though for me, like I'm okay with like the entire Mephiles arc.
Mephiles arc was kind of cool.
Like
Kinda.
What I like better for him outside of that, because my position on 06 is I love the story of 06. I would like better for Shadow in future stories, and unfortunately what I mean by that is I would like literally anything for Shadow in future stories.
That's why I'm fine with him being back. Because even if they do goof up with him, like, he's still here. There's still chances to take his story in different directions and do different things with him. Like,
Right,
I get there's a
before,
dramatic ending to everything, but like, you don't design a character that looks like that and then just use it for one game.
Before we make a new episode entirely about Shadow, we should probably move on to infamous.jpg.
True.
Whose turn is it?
Whose line is it anyway?
I think it's Pups, actually.
Oh, okay, great. So, infamous.jpg sends $19.99. Forgot to say Happy Bee Theory Day and Nick Milk x Cat Girl Milk. Jamal, you're spreading.
Can't wait to buy that merch. Can't wait.
Oh, cop it. Fucking cop it.
Amazing. Benny Boy Blue with 5 ass. Thank you. Which Sonic character will listen to Thomas the Tank Engine theme?
Knuckles.
Tails in his workshop while he's working.
Knuckles as he's trying to find more pieces of the Master Emerald. That theme is just playing in the background as he's digging.
Of all the secondary fucking franchises, I did not expect to hear about Thomas the goddamn Tank Engine as often as I do in the Sonic community. It's
another franchise that is primarily aimed at kids but has a sizable adult fan base.
It is aimed at preschoolers.
Yeah, but like it's got a sizable adult fan base.
I was gonna say Big the Cat, not so much that he listens to it, but that it's just like something playing in his head at all times.
That's fair. That's very fucking fair.
Yeah, there you go. That's your answer. All right. Sirs.
So the next one we have is from Mr. Krabs. Thank you for the $1.99. I saw the new Sunset City merch, and I like it.
What's that, a Katy Perry song? But let's pull it up in here. Can see it.
I like it.
Here we have our new range. It's the Fuck My Wife range for him and for her, and everything in between, by the way. And yeah, you can get You Wanna Fuck My Wife or Fuck My Wife. I'm no longer asking. Comes in a range of colors.
Remember that we're on Emmy's server.
Isn't Emmy a Sailor Mouth as well, Trey?
I mean,
she does cause, but
it's not the point.
Come on, man.
Heck.
For God's sakes, let's carry on.
Well, anyways, there's our merch.
There's the Fuck My Wife. Just save very quickly. Save very fucking quickly. There's one for my wife merch. All right, there we go.
Fuck my wife.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. Any fucking way. Who's next?
Where are we?
I think it's Wayne.
Oh, right. Yeah, we're on Coop. We're on Coop with another perspective. Sorry. Go on.
Coop with $2. Twitter is dumb. Talk to people in real life. No, because I work in retail, and I talk to people in real life every day out of obligation, and I hate every waking second of it.
That's easier said than done. I don't know how to talk to people in real life. I'm a hermit.
I don't know how to talk to people. Why am I here?
Trey.
Yes. Yes.
You're next.
Okay. Tazmac with $10 of ass says, speaking of Sonic music, are you guys excited for the Green Hill Zone level in Fall Guys next month? And are you guys going to be playing the upcoming event on stream?
Oh, they're doing Green Hill, huh?
I suppose we could.
That would be fun, actually.
Yeah,
I've seen Guys is pretty fun.
It is quite fun.
Fall Guys, yeah, it looks fun. I
haven't hopped on that game in a minute.
It's been a while since we've done a gameplay stream.
It'd be fun.
We should do Fall Guys together, maybe.
It's probably not going to be like a main episode or anything like that, but we can bring back Sunset Arcade for that.
No, I think we need to make this rule right now. We're never again doing gameplay streams on regular episodes. Not ever again.
Who's next?
We have got infamous.jpg. Do you want a burger with it? When are they gonna make a Bob's Burgers video game? Now that would be good.
I mean, isn't it your turn, Pup?
Is it?
It is your turn,
yes.
Pup.
Yeah.
Is it not Trey's turn?
No, Trey just went.
I just went.
Huh.
I know I'm very forgettable, but it's fine.
The train has left. Okay, so infamous.jpg, you're being very generous today, sends $4.99. Wayne, let the fanfic happen. Winky face.
Followed by Mr. Krams, $1.99.
Who's Mr.
It's
Krams?
not really a fanfic. Mr. Krams.
At what
Mr.
point?
Kram and Wayne and
Mr. Krams.
Anyway, it's
Yeah,
not really fanfic, more like a meme. I mean, it's both
fanfic
at this point.
Your meme is a fanfic.
You can
It is
call it
fiction
a
from a
meme.
fan.
A
And at what
rose
point
by
is
any
this
other name.
At what point is this just harassment? Jeez.
It can be both at the same time. And
No.
Wayne, I'm sorry that we have created a hostile work environment for you, but to be fair, it is funny. Next one we have is from Go Kenji.
Perfect for Cirrus. Oh god.
Jesus Christ.
Come on.
Thank you very much for the 5 Canadian
Franks.
Hell Franks.
Yep.
What about Sarah from the Sonic OVA? Would it... Oh my god. There has been fan art of my character in the fucking outfit Sarah wears.
I
in the OVA.
adore.
That's been forever.
I adore though.
Yes!
I just adore the entire way that super chat was written. Like the way there's a full stop there, a space, some cat girl with a cat face after. It's perfect.
I adore her design. That said, she's one of the most like outwardly irritating characters ever put into the series.
Yes.
You hear that?
sure.
Wayne says realistic human women are irritating.
Oh my god.
I think
It's not what I said.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Who's
The
up
rumor
with Mr.
got
What I
Creams?
said?
Who's up with Mr. Creams?
Mr. Krebs.
It's me. It's me. We got Mr. Krabs with $1.99 for pup. There will be a Wayne divorce arc soon.
Is it written for me, or am I divorcing Wayne? I don't know how this works. But also,
Stay tuned next
No,
time.
no, you gotta
and find
understand
out.
because Mr. Krabs.
I think it was in response to something you said earlier.
No, in another
time on Sonic.
stream, one of my own, Mr. Krabs and I have spoke quite at length about the direction of this because I have big concerns. I was like, he was saying that.
I do too.
No, Wayne, shut up, all right? Stop being a drama queen. So basically, what he said was that like Wayne is going to cheat on Vanilla with Tangle, and that's going to lead to a divorce. And I said, that's not Wayne. That's
Oh
out of
my
character.
God.
If you're going to do that, don't write for Wayne. But apparently, this is like a Wayne clone. But like, I don't. Would a Wayne clone do? Is the Wayne clone still got your personality? How does that work?
Holy
It depends.
shit,
Does the
I
Wayne
don't
clone
care.
have a goatee?
It depends on what.
No,
the
I care a
Wayne
lot because
clone
if they're going to
goes through, I guess.
Flanderize Wayne, okay, that's
If he
not okay.
I don't know if the Wayne clone goes through his own experiences. Does that not make him his own separate person?
But does
just
he have
like
the
genetically
memories?
similar to me?
Like he could have the. See, this is the scary thing, right? Imagine, right? You have a clone which has all of your memories.
Oh, Noah?
For all it's worth, that's basically you. But you then have to have that debate of which one of us gets to fuck my wife.
Oh my god.
Which one
Anyway,
of us
hey
leaves?
Trey, you want to take the next super chat and just like get us off any off of
Sure,
this
sure,
topic?
sure. Makra Music sends $5 says, ask some old guy what's more respectable to be a fan of, Thomas or Sonic. Sorry, chaps. Dude chose the tank engine. Reason, charm, and history.
Let me tell you something, right? I noticed that sent in pounds, so this must have taken place in the UK. All right, I'll update you guys on something real quick. English culture, English people, they cannot see merit in anything beyond charm and history. It's why shows like Doctor Who still exist. It's why franchises like James Bond still exist. They're shit. They don't belong in this day and age, but they got enough charm and history to keep them going. And like things like Sonic and stuff, like Thomas Tank Engine. It's, like the better days of that thing are over. They now do it in like digital animation, and Thomas is an American kid. They don't like it. They like their models and stuff, and all power to them. But
Yeah. Have you seen Skyfall?
Yeah, it came out 10 years ago, Wayne. And in that time, we had Spectre, which was shit.
Wait.
And
Hey, okay, Spectre was awful.
and
Wait, no. Is it actually that old now?
it came out in 2012.
Did it really?
I am 98% sure it came out in 2012. Let's have a look.
We just all realized we're old!
Oh,
I've realized that for a
And
minute.
also,
yeah.
26th of October 2012. But also, can I also point out, Skyfall was alright, but it had nothing on Casino Royale.
Casino Royale was better, but Skyfall is my favorite. But that was also my first.
But
James
also,
Bond movie, so.
fuck Spectre, fuck Quantum of Solace, and I haven't seen No Time to Die, but I'm gonna assume fuck that until I see it.
I forgot Quantum of Solace existed.
Quantum of Solace is fucking terrible.
I've seen worse movies. I've seen worse Bond movies. I think it was just
the The overall
Here's
point
a-
I'm trying to make is the
Yeah.
UK is run entirely on charm and history, even if that history is laden with barbaric atrocities. At least it's charming, you know? We want nothing more
Oh,
than to have a
man.
cup of tea with Winston Churchill while he does famine.
Yep, I don't know what that sentence meant.
Well, either way, like, there's a reason why I'm coming to America.
Okay. Fair enough.
So Black Yakuzu, or is it your turn, Pup?
I don't fucking know. Is it?
I just went, so it's Trey.
Troy Norman.
No.
did-
Trey
Trey
just
did
went
think
with
of it.
Trey just went with that one, so it is Pub.
Black Yakuzu 1994 sends $10 saying, have you guys watched any of the videos by Pariah695? He's covered every game up until 06 right now and does gameplay and story breakdowns in separate videos. Warning, they are long. They're very, very in-depth from what I've seen. Like, he goes incredibly in-depth.
Yeah, I mean, I try to support my friends when I can, but I mean, it's a dangerous game to kind of intake a lot of other stuff when it's literally your job to do the same. So, unfortunately, not, and I'm probably not going to. So
Oh, you're not getting cancelled on Twitter later.
I think I'll be all right. I'm sure it's great. Just, yeah, I don't know.
I do
Like,
generally try to avoid big essays on videos that I'm planning, surrounding content I'm also planning on covering until I've at least covered it.
Yeah,
After
fair
that,
enough.
then
That's
sure,
understandable.
but yeah.
And as something we probably will have to talk about as a main talking point at some point, I need breathers from Sonic. Like I don't really want to invest time into like an hour-long Sonic video because I'm going to be doing those, and I love it, but like it is a job for me. I don't want to repeat anybody else's points, and also I don't want to eat up my free time doing that.
Yeah, fair enough.
So there you go.
Where are we?
Nick.
Oh, okay. My turn. No, I had to go check a message, so I have to go back here.
Oh,
There we
you're
go.
good. You're good.
It's fine.
All right.
Boatin'.
So that we're at Boatin' here. $10. It was non-binary People's Day yesterday, but of course my job was like coming to work on Friday. So I've pushed my plans to get absolutely wasted until tonight. I'll update you all on it next week. Smiley face. Well, you have a great time with
Yes,
us, Boatin'.
stay
Enjoy.
safe. Yeah,
And happy
Enjoy.
non-binary
yeah.
day.
Don't forget your rent next week for the pronoun usage. That's an in
Let's
joke.
go.
That's an in joke.
Oh my god.
I was gonna say a non-binary they.
No, I wouldn't. Like, no. Shut up.
Let's go. Let's
Anyway, Coop, thank you for the $5. If you make another Cooper's perspective joke, then I'm going to strangle Troy Nobles.
Why not
So
just-
wait.
Why not just strangle me?
Why
I
not
want
just-
to be strangled.
People, okay, y'all don't.
Now
like,
I know.
you guys make fun of me all the time. You still don't understand. People have it out for me. People just want to hurt me, even if someone else is at fault.
Yeah, but Trey, you don't understand.
Twitter.
I'm not.
Trey,
I'm not
we-
picking the fight.
You
don't
are
want
you.
to
You just
hurt
you throw
you.
something out there, and then like every month you're like, you guys need to talk. You need to not be so.
Well,
mean."
yeah, because I don't respond to everything I see. Like, I
Okay,
respond
Trey,
to stuff
you
I know
understand-
right.
stirs up the pot and gets upset that people are mad about it.
I'm not
Trey,
mad about it.
Trey, I need you to understand something. Do you understand that we don't want to hurt you, right?
Uh-huh.
I do.
Okay, do you understand
I
that we need to hurt you?
Wait. Do you want to or do you not?
Whoa.
No, no.
Excuse me.
Or raise
Cyrus.
of hands if they
Cyrus,
want to hurt me.
Cyrus,
We need to hurt
Cyrus, back the fuck off, alright? I spank Trey.
you. And you are part of us, right?
And I
you
do
need
it
to
within
hurt
the
Trey.
Somebody else
sanctity
is- How?
of our marital rules and walls and bed.
Oh, you should know I, of all people, don't give a shit about the sanctity
No,
of
you
marriage.
step the fuck back, alright? You want to share? Yes, fine, I don't. So I'm keeping Trey for myself. Thank you very much, you dog.
Okay, but what does Trey have to say about us hurting?
Trey doesn't need to say shit. I'm the husband.
Oh, I'm lightheaded. I'm about to fucking pass out.
Oh, so it's going to become a sleep stream again. Got it.
Oh, hell yeah.
I feel.
I can't wait. I can't wait to run running commentary on his snores.
Yeah, he'll be my sleeping beauty, and I'll wake him up with a kiss.
Me and Pup are in a gay marriage, but it happens to be in the 1950s.
We're also both straight, which is the funny part.
Yeah. It's just like you cannot say anything.
You just
Know your place.
oh
Can
fuck
we-
me, Trey. I'm not gay.
Nope.
I'm okay. I'm
Nope.
not doing that.
We're done. We're done with
Anyways, moving on. Yeah.
that. Wayne.
People in the chat are like,
Yeah.
no one. Sorry, they're like, what is going on? Like this happens every time.
Sunset City's what's happening.
Sunset City is what happened.
Welcome
Trey wanted us
everybody
here.
to Sunset City, a Sonic podcast for freaks.
Bullying Troy Noibles.
Wayne, just read the goddamn super chat.
Mr. Krabs, $1.99. Don't worry, Wayne. The lore will end soon.
Does that mean he's
Please.
dying? Are they going to kill off Wayne? I hope not.
God, I hope so.
Please
He's
don't.
already
It'd be
died
illegal to
once
have
in
him
the
on the
canon.
show.
We need to compile these.
We don't want this to be lost media. Like we need to preserve
that
these.
whole story.
Yeah.
Wayne, sorry, no. Everybody
I just
yelling at you.
did. I
just got
just
used to
won.
yell- I know. I just got used to yelling.
Trey,
at you.
Trey's
so
up.
easy.
Trey's up.
Trey.
Is it me? All right,
Yeah.
Coops. It's $2. Nothing personal, Trey. That's very fitting, considering I'm the one reading this.
Yeah.
Super Shaddix Boom sends $2 saying Terry Noble. Terry Noble.
This
deserves
is an
better.
inside joke within the server because someone like misspelled my name as Terry.
So wait, this is literally a Wallace situation.
So
then.
you are the Wallace
yeah.
of Emmy's.
I am the
Oh,
Wallace of
so
any
good.
server. People call me Terry.
I have a question. When you meet people in real life, do they gently caress your hands too?
Not normally.
Okay. So you're not quite there yet. You're not quite to Wayne levels.
Not quite the Wayne. Why would
Don
they do
Wayne
that?
Levels.
I don't know, Wayne. Why would Nick do that?
Why would he do that, Wayne?
Oh. Oh no, I can hear something in the distance. Oh no.
What do you hear? What do you hear?
He's here.
Wait, who's that?
Oh God, no.
Who's here?
He's here.
What are you talking about?
It's gonna be time to go, gents.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Come on, Trey. You know. You know.
I don't. I am the most lost I've been. I'm usually pretty lost.
Are you looking
when
at
I'm
the
on-
stream?
Oh wait, I'm looking at the stream. Oh no,
You
I'm
need to
not.
look at the
He's here.
Look who's
He's
here.
here.
He wants a sacrifice.
Oh.
Alright.
Oh. This is
All
the
right.
skeleton.
Uh,
Anyways.
Oh.
Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us today, especially those in Emmy's server. Thanks for having us over, guys. It's probably the last time we'll ever be invited to this house, but we had a
No,
good time.
you're
Probably
good.
true.
We had
No,
a
you're
good
good.
time.
I'm glad.
Oh.
Yeah, for sure.
What?
Pup, what are you
Huh?
up to these days?
I'm just in my chair having a drink of water. Oh, right. If you okay, fuck it. I'm gonna review Klonoa Door to Phantom Isle. I'm gonna
Attaboy.
do it. I'm gonna pull the trigger
Ah,
on
that
that.
fucking boy.
And if you're enjoying the Beyond the Raimiverse series, well, it'll continue. And next week we'll be talking about Black Cat. So get your tummies tickled because there's a lot more to come.
Very
Subscribe.
nice. Cirrus.
So the only thing I have going on right now is the Shadow, What If Shadow Had Died episode. Working with Smacko on the artwork for that. The actual audio for that is all already up on my Patreon. I feel weird plugging that, but it's also true. So that video will go up when artwork and everything is finalized for it. But I'm looking forward to Eggman getting shot.
Well, there you go.
Oh, there you go.
Wayne.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I'm working on a Klonoa video myself, and then it's back onto my Digimon World review. I swear that's real, and it's actually gonna happen one day. That's a real video that I'm gonna make eventually.
Cool. And before we get to our guests, I'm also the third person in the room making a Klonoa video. The script for that's pretty much completed. Just put up the audio for my review of Sonic issue 50. I'm going to revise it because I did not recognize one of the things in there, and my patrons were quick to be like, "Oh no, it's from this thing." I was like, "Okay, cool, thank you." I'm going to update that before I get a million comments correcting the exact same goddamn thing over and over again.
Well, it might be good traffic.
I mean,
People
it's true.
people like to think they're the first one to tell you that you're wrong, like all the time. So
Yeah, they sure do. People really love to hate watch things. It's the strangest
it
thing.
is weird. Like fucking, I don't know. But yeah.
So that's me. You can find me over on Game Apologist. And yeah, Trey, how about you?
Hello, I am Trey. What I have going on right now, I'm kind of putting some covers on hold because I told Nick this, but I don't want it to be revealed yet. But a lot's going to change in the next month, so I'm definitely not releasing any content of my own. But I do have some kind of like, what is it? Some kind of like B-side covers that I might release on my own, and plus a lot of stuff with Emmy over the next month. We have a big song coming up, and it was supposed to get revealed on Sonic's birthday, but it has been delayed due to circumstances that are not really under our control. But it is going to be released, and it's going to sound phenomenal. I can't wait for that. So yeah, just a lot of music, a lot of working. Subscribe to me, please.
You might be hearing him in a video kind of soon.
Oh, that is true. Yeah, I didn't want to reveal that. Yeah, I didn't know if that was okay for me to talk
That's
about.
fine. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I'll be ranting about FM synthesis and composition in a video with the Green Man here, and that's gonna be fun.
Yes, it is. Well, guys, I think that's about everything. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. This has been a lot of fun. And Trey and Emmy, wherever you are, thank you for having us here.
Always, like, and y'all are welcome back anytime. Like, for sure. We love you. We love you guys. So.
Perfect. We haven't screwed it up yet.
No, you haven't. So don't screw it up. Especially with me, I'm very, very touchy when it comes to this kind of stuff. If you say one wrong thing to me, then you'll be shunned for life. So.
Yeah, you definitely don't just really get a kick out of me just berating you.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a kink at all.
Pup, why am I the only one with my head?
Wait, what is Pup doing?
Trey, check your
now?
DMs.
Oh my god. Oh my god, we're all... Wait, check my DMs.
Let's just end the show.
Let's just end this...
No, well, maybe we can probably hang out for a little bit with Emmy's folks here for a little bit, just because we are guests here. Unless you guys have to go, but I'll hang out for a few minutes. But yeah, we're ending our official show for right now. So see you guys next week. I can never tell when Pup's gonna end the show, and he's just gonna be quiet. He won't let me know. And now everybody else is... Why am I... You're messaging everybody else.